To be a Steeler is to consider others before you consider yourself. To protect your brother, even from himself. To give support at your own expense. And when wearing the black and gold suit of armor, make sure nobody desecrates it, disrespects it. Most importantly, we ourselves don't dishonor it. From previous legends who have donned the black and gold. These virtues I learned while playing for the Steelers are what make the legacy of the black and gold timeless. They are passed down in the locker room from the steel curtain to anyone who valiantly wears the black and gold. Creating a brotherhood that is deeper than money, business, and winning. To be a Steeler is to consider others before you consider yourself. This is our culture, Steeler culture.
Now, here are your hosts, Rob and Dan, the Steel Twins.
Steelers Nation, you knew we had to come on here and celebrate the fact that our boy, our quarterback, Mason Rudolph is back, baby. We got to rep the jersey. Got him decked out. We got him repping the man that has returned to the city of Pittsburgh, to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Our quarterback, Mason Rudolph. Yes, we're literally celebrating the fact that we have a backup quarterback. Because that's what Mason's going to be. He's going to be the backup. I don't think he's going to be the starter. That's not my expectation. But he's back. We all wanted him back. Most of us wanted him back. At least most of the people in the chat last night wanted him back. I was sporting his jersey last night. Had it off to the side. 24 hours later, I'm wearing it.
You know, I never thought I'd be wearing this jersey ever again.
Me neither.
You know,
me neither.
Getting it out of the closet is like an old, like in the superhero flex, they take out their old, superhero uniform or whatnot. Like, they haven't touched it and whatever.
Bro,
that's what it felt like.
It was like that scene from what movie? Well, I think it was the second one, the second Spider-Man, when he's going through his chest or whatever, and he pulls out the suit. That's what it was like pulling out this jersey.
No, like real talk. Like, I didn't think that we would ever deck these jerseys ever again.
And we did make a promise last night. You said it.
I said it, and I meant it. You think I'm BSing you?
No.
You think I'm messing?
Oh,
with
I know you're serious.
No,
I'm serious with you.
Listen, the fact now that it is confirmed that Mason Rudolph is coming back to the Steelers, starter or not, we will be decking these jerseys every single game this upcoming season, every week, every game day.
Now hold on. What if something happens?
What do you mean? What if something happens?
I don't know. Anything could happen from now and then. What if he gets hurt?
We made a promise.
You're right.
We made a promise.
Listen, I'm not trying to back out. I'm just trying.
You better not, bro. This is our fucking quarterback.
I'm not backing out. Because I'll be real with you guys, man. I preferred this. I preferred Mason over Rodgers and Russ. I prefer Mason because he's younger. He brings less drama.
Less drama, especially less drama.
We all know he's got a strong arm. And frankly, he's a lot cheaper than paying an old-ass quarterback. Swear jar.
Yeah, here's the actual, details of the reunions. Mason Rudolph has agreed to a 2-year, $8 million deal with $4.5 million to return to the Steelers. Sources tell me Mike Garafolo and Ian Rappaport.
$4.5 million guaranteed.
Indeed.
2 years, $8 million.
That ain't half bad of a deal.
For a backup quarterback?
He continued on, Garafolo. He said that Rudolph mulled multiple offers, including a return to the Titans, but was motivated to head back to Pittsburgh.
Yes.
So he wanted to come back. He's seen an opening. Hey, listen, man. The Steelers, they need Rudolph again. They called his name once again.
I find it weird. After everything Mason went through in his first stint in Pittsburgh, right? Being buried down the depth chart, not playing football for literally 2 years until it got so bad, Tomlin had no choice, and then he saved the 2023 season, won the last 3 games versus the Bengals, the Seahawks, and the Ravens, and leading us to a playoff game, which obviously we got blown out. But he went through all that, left, just to come back.
Yes.
I feel like that takes some serious honor from Mason to do that. To come back to the same team that kind of did you a little dirty in the first time around.
Yeah, we know the whole ordeal. Mason was just constantly pushed further down the quarterback depth chart as long as he was here.
Now, we're not here to say he wasn't given a fair chance, and here he is finally getting his chance. That's not what this is. We're not here to discuss that.
No, we did say way back in the day, I think it was after the 2020 season when we lost to Cleveland in the playoff game, that Ben should have retired and we should have given Mason the 2021 season.
And this offseason, we said the same thing about Fields.
Yes.
Obviously, none of that's secured. Regardless, Mason's back. He's going to be the backup. If he ever has to come in as the starter for a pinch or for whatever reason, I'm fine with it. As a matter of fact, call me crazy. I'm cool with Mason running the whole season if that ever has to be the case. If this Aaron Rodgers deal goes flat, I'm cool with him being the starter.
I have zero issue if he were to be the starter.
Because here's why. Here's why. 2025 is the year of the bridge. Don't expect much in 2025. We're not winning anything in 2025. And if you think that the Steelers will, lower your expectations. They need to go a cheap bridge option, use the cap space to build everything around the quarterback position. We've been saying all offseason. If we ever have to lean on Mason for one reason or another, I'd rather run with Mason because he's cheaper, he's younger, strong arm, composed in the pocket. He's a trusted backup. I'm not saying he has to start the whole season because I don't think that happens. And frankly, I don't know what happens at the quarterback room from here on out. This signing right now, as of now, he's the backup. They're still waiting on word from Aaron Rodgers. I don't know what's taking him so long. He has been absolutely silent for days now.
But the Steelers, they're willing to be patient. They're willing to wait on Rodgers' words. So basically, Aaron Rodgers is holding the Steelers hostage when it comes to the quarterback position.
Yeah.
What the hell are we doing
He's
here?
toying with the Steelers right now. I don't know why. He's toying with the Steelers right now.
And the Steelers are just letting ARod play with them. I don't understand why. I don't get it. They just think for some reason, the Steelers do, they think that they're so close to winning a championship. They're that close. They're right there. They just need to get over the hump.
But they're not.
And ARod will help us. Yeah, just like they thought Russ was going to help us. There's a reason why the Broncos were willing to take however much dead cap and move on from Russ. Same thing goes with the Jets. Are we really going to be toying with older veterans just because the Steelers think that we're right there?
Right.
We're at the goal line.
Now, in terms of on-field quarterback play, is Rodgers or Russ a better option? Probably, yes. I'd say confidently, yes, they are. Just because they're veterans and obviously they're higher IQ quarterbacks, right? But the reality of the situation is the Steelers need to humble themselves and look at 2025 as a mini rebuild. Consider it a down. They're not going to tank. I'm not saying they're going to tank because they don't think that way. But look at it as let's just build this team. Let's do what we can.
Down with that, we've got 2 words for you.
Isaiah with 199. Omar Khan just needs to give up waiting on ARod. He needs to give him a time frame. He needs to give him a limit, a certain number of days or whatever.
A certain date, a certain time, a certain point. Be like, okay, this is the offer. Just let us know by then. If you don't, that's it.
Yeah.
Offer's off the table. That's how the Steelers should be conducting this business.
I agree.
They shouldn't be letting ARod run the show. It's horseshit the fact that this has reached this point.
You know, at this point, dude, I wouldn't hate the idea of the Steelers signing Mason now, which is official. They signed Mason, and then them hitting up ARod saying, hey, Rodgers, we signed Mason. We don't need you here. We don't want you here. You're taking forever. You can't make up your damn mind. We had to make a decision ourselves. So as far as we're concerned, Aaron Rodgers.
Go fuck yourself.
Straight up, just let him know. Let him know. Listen, man, you're taking too long. Time's up. TikTok, time's up. No more. No more negotiations. We're doing this. We had to make a decision because you took too long.
I don't understand why it's taking him forever to make a decision.
I don't know.
And here's the
he
thing.
must be really enjoying his time on the beach, barefoot.
I guess. I don't know. I have no idea.
You're not down with that. We've got 2 words for you.
Majin Dre Beat says, I don't mind Mason, but I don't want Aaron. I don't want Aaron either. I don't want to overpay for an aging quarterback just for it to lead to the same result all over again. Which is why I don't mind running with Mason and a rookie quarterback or whoever else they want to sign, or maybe trade for a quarterback. If they want to run with Mason Milton or Mason Willis or a rookie and Mason or whatever, I don't hate it because, again, I'm not expecting much for 2025, and the Steelers should view it the exact same way. They just got to understand when to take a certain year off. Go with what you got, build the team, fix the trenches, get everything built around, and then in 2026, you know what you got to do.
And it might be a hot topic, but I prefer that route.
And
I
honestly,
prefer the route of running with Mason, run with him, have it sling it to Metcalf, who's officially a Steeler now,
yes.
Pickens. Have him sling it, have him lead the charge, lead the offense,
Listen,
and go on a mini rebuild rather than overpay a 41-year-old quarterback that could very well probably just lead you to the same result. You're going to overpay a 41-year-old quarterback just for the same result that Mason Rudolph might lead you to. It'd just be a more expensive result.
Because here's the reality. Here's the reality. If Rodgers is the quarterback, let's say Aaron Rodgers finally makes up his mind and signs with the Steelers, it's either going to lead to a playoff run, or a playoff berth, rather, not a run, playoff berth in a one-and-done situation, or he's going to lead you to the worst season we've had in a while. Mason, he's either going to give you one of the worst seasons we have in a while, or he's going to get you on the brick of a playoff run. Because let's be honest, man, as much as we give Mike Tomlin a lot of criticism, he has won in the league with mediocre quarterback play before. He has made playoff berths with mediocre quarterback play before. The Steelers are going to rely on the run game and the defense as always. And for some reason, their voodoo magic keeps working.
And that's why I say the same result. If ARod's here, same result. If Rudolph's leading the charge, same result. Just because of the tendencies and the fact that Mike Tomlin has proven, no matter who his quarterback is, he'll be over 500.
Not just
He's
that,
proven that.
Not just that, but he runs the same philosophy on offense.
Basically, yes. So the result, the pathway is the same. It's just a matter of who would be the starting quarterback, who would run the show. Steelers obviously wanted to be ARod, but I'd rather be in the category of just giving it to Mason.
I don't hate the idea of Mason. Now, I'm not saying he's going to. That's not my expectation. But if it ever has to come to that point where Aaron Rodgers' deal falls flat for some reason, and then all we have is Mason and Skylar Thompson, I wouldn't be surprised whatsoever if the Steelers go out, maybe bring back Russ, because I still don't want to roll that out entirely.
Yeah, he just visited the Browns. I think he's going to visit the Giants tomorrow. So, like, his free agency period is going about right now.
But let's say they both fall flat. You have Mason. You got Skylar Thompson. I would think they either trade for a quarterback or they draft a quarterback, as long as it's not too high.
Yeah, I don't want them to reach
the earliest. The earliest I would hope the Steelers draft a quarterback is day 3. That's the earliest I think they should go quarterback. And in that case, if you want to go with Mason and a rookie quarterback battling out or whatever, or Mason and like a Joe Milton or a Malik Willis, I don't care this year because, again, I'm not expecting much. And frankly, I think a lot of fans should view it the same way. Because either we have a down season, which gives us a very early pick in 2026. That way we don't have to trade up as much because they're going to trade up into that draft class.
Yeah, it's very ideal.
Either we get a very bad record and we don't have to trade up as much, or it leads us to a similar season where it's rocky, we win a few games, and we're on the brick of 500 or above. That's how I view it at the quarterback position.
Yeah. But as far as Mason goes, I mean, he's shown time and time again he's more than capable. Hold on.
Barber.
We've got 2 words for
Barber
you.
FM with a 199. Mason quarterback 1 gave us our best quarterback play in years. Well, it was for sure the best quarterback play of the 2023 season.
Yes.
And all he had to do was play 4 games.
And you could probably argue that he had the better quarterback play in 2024 with Tennessee. Now, I know that's not saying much when you had Kenny Pickett, Mitch Trubisky, and Will Levis. 3 garbage quarterbacks. I know that's not saying much, but when Mason is asked to get in there and run the offense and do what he needs to do, he'll do his assignment.
Agreed.
He'll do what he needs to do. Will he do it at a consistent rate? No, he's a backup quarterback. But he'll do it to the best of his ability. But he's a guy he's no stranger to doing so. When his name's called, he'll go out there and do what he needs to do.
And that's why he's such a good backup. Again, backup, keyword backup. As of now, he's the backup.
But even for a backup, he's a guy that offenses rally around because they support him, because they know that he's the best guy that, compared, in 2023, 2024, he's the best guy that they had.
Right.
He's the best guy that they had. They were going to, rally around him. They were going to support him. They were going to wish him the best.
Well, look at the connection he had with George Pickens just a couple years ago.
The Bengals game, the Seahawks game, just standout performances.
And keep in mind, that was with an offensive scheme that rarely threw the ball deep.
Yeah.
Rarely threw the ball
And that's
deep.
another thing about Mason. He's not afraid to sling it. The man will go out there with I have nothing to lose mentality. That's his mindset. I have nothing to lose. I'm going to go out there and sling this motherfucker.
Yeah.
He's a guy that can sling it. We all know he's got a beautiful deep arm, deep throw. He's a guy that can make those tight window throws if he has to. He's a capable guy that's going to run the offense and balance it out. And I remember in 2023, there was no balance on that offense. When he stepped in, there was balance throughout that offense.
Because his deep ball opened up the run game.
It did. And that's what Mason brings to the table, even as a backup.
Yeah, and that's as if he were had to come in for a stint or so or a couple games or whatnot. Because we do not know what the season holds. Isaiah, man, I think you've been playing too much Madden, my guy.
No, that's not happening. Okay, let's chill. This ain't Madden.
In a crazy world, maybe.
Maybe. And some alternate universe that I'm sure is out there
An
somewhere.
alternate universe that we cannot reach. That's for sure.
Never will.
No.
But Mason also carries leadership aspects and capabilities.
Oh, he's always been professional.
Yeah. I mean, just look at the situation that he was dealt with. Pushed it further down the depth chart for terrible quarterbacks that were ahead of him until his name was called upon. And even before that, he was just keeping his head down. He was still grinding. He was still working. And when his name was called upon, he was like, okay, I got you.
Well,
Just give me your word, and I'll do what I need to do.
Not just that, but also the Myles Garrett stuff.
Yeah.
I know that's all in the past, and Mason's now back. But
He's very professional.
But that's why the Steelers brought him back, because of those tendencies. They trust Mason.
He's a guy that's not going to bring drama or ego to the quarterback position. Not like ARod would, and that would be my fear between him, Mike Tomlin, and
Not
Arthur
just
Smith.
that, but you mentioned last night in last night's live stream that Russ obviously didn't have communication with Arthur Smith. They bunt heads on how they wanted the offense to run. Aaron Rodgers, he comes in. You already know that's going to happen. You think that's going to be any better? So
No.
the two options we have with Russ and Rodgers, the OCs or any way they want to run the offense, there's going to be no communication. There's going to be no mutual agreement between any parties.
No, they're going to be constantly butting heads, constantly disagreeing, and it's just going to be an absolute shit show on the offense. And everybody on the offense is going to feed off of that. And it's just going to speak disaster on
And
the
it's
field.
bad enough we have as many head cases as GP and now DK. You know what I mean?
Mason, he's a guy that's going to contain that. He doesn't bring a level of ego or arrogance or cockiness or drama to the quarterback position. And now with his coaches. He goes out there, does what he needs to do, even as a backup, but he'll go out there and just play.
Right.
He'll go out there and control the offense if he's asked upon, if he's allowed, and he'll just lead the charge.
Mason Rudolph also went through his reads instead of locking down on one receiver. His brother, Mark, 1992. Correct. Very composed. I'll never forget that play he threw towards the middle of the field to Pickens versus Seattle. He had a defender in his face, remained composed, and threw a dot.
Dude, I was looking back.
For a backup quarterback, man.
I was looking back at that play, and I'm still, like stunned by just how composed and confident he was. And his eyes were just laser focused on Pickens. He just got the ball exactly where it needed to be for Pickens to reach out and make that incredible grab.
That's why I like bringing Mason back, because I think a lot of us have a faith in him as a backup if he were to have to come in for a couple games. I think since he saved that 2023 season and led us to the playoffs, we'll have a little bit more appreciation for Mason.
If you're not down with that, we've got 2 words for you.
Anselm with a 2. Let's hear it from Mason Rudolph, fellas.
I have nothing but respect and appreciation for Mason Rudolph.
And the way I see it, we don't know how the quarterback position is going to be for this season.
No.
We don't know if we're getting Rodgers, and if we do, we don't know how that's going to go. Could he get hurt again? Lord knows. So if Mason's name ever has to be called on for one reason or another, whether that's halfway through the year, or that's for an injury, whether that's for insufficient quarterback play, whatever the case may be, he's trusted.
If you're not down with that, we've got 2 words for
Barbara
you.
FM with a $4.99. Wonder how different the Bills game is if we score in the end zone where he threw that interception. Score in the end zone where he threw that interception. I just read that. Yeah, I mean, I will say that game versus the Bills, winnable for sure if it wasn't for the turnovers. The Najee fumble, Mason throwing an interception.
Yep. I look back at that season like what a wild season that was.
Yeah.
Just chaotic. And for Mason to have his name called upon around Christmas time, Rudolph.
I still don't know how we got through that.
I don't know.
And I find it crazy. We're going to have a different quarterback room in 3 straight seasons.
Again, because Kyle Allen, he was picked up by the Lions.
Yeah, Kyle Allen's gone.
So it's going to be another different quarterback group. Another different quarterback room.
Yeah.
It's going to be wild.
You know, I'm already settling with 2025 and the season being, being as low expectation as I could think. Got another one.
If you're not down with
Isaiah.
that, we've got 2 words for you.
Isaiah 499. We could have beat the Bills with Mason if our defense knew how to tackle and Pickens didn't fumble the ball. That's true. I mean, you can say that about a lot of playoff games, even the most recent one versus the Ravens.
Yeah, you can really look back at a lot of those. Yes, indeed.
So, but the way I see 2025 in the season coming up, I'm not expecting much. Thus, with the quarterback room, the way I'm trying to put it is, do you want good quarterback play? Obviously.
Of course. I mean, like, that's all we want.
But it's going to be a bridge. So put out whatever you can at the quarterback room, whether that is signing ARod. I would accept ARod if it's a stupid, cheap deal. ARod has said it's not about the money. It's just a matter of him finally making up his mind and taking his good old time with it.
Yeah.
I don't mind ARod if the price is right.
Not a 2-year deal, though. You're not doing a 2-year deal.
No.
You're doing a 1-year deal.
If Aaron Rodgers plays this year, this has to be his last year.
It should be.
Needs to be. Even if that is with the Steelers.
I think he should just retire flat up.
Right.
Straight up. Like, career said and done. Like, it didn't work for the Jets, obviously. Like, there's nothing else you need to prove. There's nothing else you need to do in this league.
No.
You've done it all. You're a future first ballot Hall of Famer. There's no need to continue to play on.
Right.
But A-Rod's going to be taking his sweet time. He's going to do what he's going to be doing, and it's just a matter of the Steelers having to wait.
I'm happy says doesn't mean he's a forever backup. Just needs a complete season to find out.
If you're not down with that,
I don't hate that.
we've got 2 words for you.
Anthem with a 5. I don't want Aaron in Pittsburgh at all. Dude is a freaking weirdo. Not only can he possibly suck, but the drama he brings, that moral gonna drop. The morale gonna drop. Yeah.
I'm not for that. It would just speak disaster. Not a good mix. That's why I'd rather run with Mason, because he carries no drama. Whatever you ask him to do, he's going to go out there and do it.
Still life. I agree. They're never going to do it, but I agree. Because I'm viewing 2025 as being just mediocre at best. That's my expectation. Just very low and kind of enjoying for what it is and enjoying for whatever good that's going to come out of it. Which is why I don't mind if we have to run with Mason and a Milton, or Mason and a Willis, or Mason and a rookie, or whatever the case may be. If this ARod situation drops. That's why I don't mind it, because I just think it's going to be middle of the road and mediocre at best. So when it comes to all that in the future at the quarterback position, I think the team needs to realize during the rebuild, they need to acknowledge, hey, this is just going to be the year of the bridge anyway. Let's just settle for that. Let's see what he's got. Let's just see what we can do in this year. Let's just enjoy it for what it is.
Yeah.
I feel like 2025 should be a year where they're thinking about 2026.
The only
beyond.
way that's going to work is if ARod straight up retires or goes to the Giants, or if Russ does not come back, goes to the Browns or the Titans at this point. Both of those options are gone. You can't go back to either of them. You can't go back to Russ. You can't get Rodgers. Then really, who is your quarterback? It's got to be Rudolph. Right? Unless they trade for a quarterback, but I can only imagine them trading for a very cheap backup quarterback.
Anselm with a 2 says, bro, but Jackson Dart. Not in the first round. I like Dart a lot. He's my number 2 quarterback this draft class. Not in the first round.
I just think it's too high.
I don't think this is the year for a quarterback early on. I don't. Unless he falls for some reason, sure. I just don't see him falling.
I just don't think it's worth taking a quarterback or reaching for a quarterback just because they didn't have a proper plan at the position and then further pushing another position on the back burner. Yeah. I'm not doing that.
No, that's being desperate.
The Steelers should not be at a point. I mean, we're waiting on Aaron Rodgers' word here. So basically, yes, the Steelers are now desperate.
They were so desperate they even brought back Mason. I mean, we're all desperate because we wished for it.
Yeah, but this is the Steelers because they didn't have a proper plan at quarterback. This is the situation that they have put themselves in. So technically, yes, the Steelers are desperate.
They're desperate, but I don't think they should be desperate enough to take a quarterback in the first round this year.
Not that desperate, no.
No, they need to go D-line or running back or vice versa in the first 2 picks, unless they trade back. If they trade back and still get Dart, that's more acceptable. That's the only way I can accept Dart in the first round.
It's possible. Anselm with a 2.
Yes, D-line for the first. Yes, that's where I'm at right now.
Looking at Kenneth Grant, Derek Harmon, or Walter Nolan.
Preferably Grant out of the 3. Preferably Grant out of the 3.
Yeah, because Steelers, I mean, they got to fill that nose tackle position. If you move Benton over to 3-tech outside, defensive end, you got to find a guy to fill the nose tackle position. A big guy to fill the gap, stop the run.
That's Grant.
That is Grant.
That's Grant.
He just fits it like a glove perfectly.
And then he can swap over to 3-tech when Hayward leaves.
That too.
Opposite of Benton.
Can do that.
Tim Odell says, I didn't want Mason to leave. He is what Mitch was supposed to be, a top backup. Yeah. That last offseason, man, I wouldn't say we were pounding the table, but we really wanted Mason back before anything.
Oh, God, Patrick.
Patrick says, bring back Duck. Dude.
I think he's happily retired and soon to be married.
He's a lucky man.
Yes, he is.
All I'll say.
And good for Duck. And, speaking of marriage, I mean, good for DK Metcalf.
DK Metcalf was just engaged after he got traded.
Yeah.
Him and his family were rallying around, I think he said in Houston. And he's now engaged. Congratulations, DK Metcalf. And the DK Metcalf trade is official, folks. It is official. He has signed the contract. He is officially a Pittsburgh Steeler. I can't believe I just said that. You know, sometimes when I think of certain additions the Steelers make or certain trades, it takes me a minute, maybe a month or 2, to acknowledge that the trade is actually reality. Like
it's official.
This is legitimately real. So when I saw DK in his press conference earlier, I thought to myself, this is a dream, man. Because, again, we don't make trades like that. We don't get players like that. And of all the teams, we did that.
Yeah.
We made the move.
The Steelers don't do this type of stuff, especially at the wide receiver position.
And the official trade details are as follows. If I can get my damn computer working. The Steelers trade the 52nd overall pick.
You might have to hold up on that now.
Anselm. Bro, we got another one.
Bro, who would have thought, big DK?
I know, that's what I'm saying.
If you're not down with that, we've got 2 words.
Do you think DK knows who the quarterback is? I don't.
No.
Because he talked with Russ, and Russ was like, yeah, I think you're going to like it there, but he didn't mention anything about a return potentially. I don't think DK's worried about quarterback right now. He's got 150 million reasons to be happy in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
I think he's going to find a new quarterback in 2026, though, unless they draft someone this year.
This trade is not just for this upcoming season, but it's for the future down the road.
Yes.
It's a great investment.
But the trade details for DK are as follows. The Steelers trade the 52nd pick and the 223rd pick, which was one of their 7ths, for DK Metcalf and the 185th pick, which is a 6th. We traded a 6th for Fields last year. We got a 6th back in this trade. We essentially trade up for day 3 by trading one of our 7ths for a 6th. And the 2nd-round pick for DK. So, we got DK Metcalf. And he officially has a jersey. He has a jersey number, folks.
I got to tell you, man, it is fire. That is fire. Number 4.
Pickens is keeping 14. He said that, I'm not gonna come into their house and take their number. You know, that's their legacy. He's been here. And he said 4 was available. It looked good. DK Metcalf wearing 4. That's something I might have to cop, man.
That looks damn good on him.
I'm
that
being
looks
honest
great.
with you guys.
That looks great.
We're also getting a 4th comp pick next year for Fields. We are. We're getting unless the Steelers make a big move, which I don't doubt at this point, or which I do doubt at this point.
Yeah.
They're going to get a 3rd next year for Dan Moore. They're going to get a 4th next year for Fields. And I think a 5th and a 6th in regards to Najee and Daniels, I think.
Or is it Dante Jackson? I think it's Dante Jackson.
One of the 2.
If you're not down with that,
Handsome, man. Wow.
got 2 words
Shout out to you guys in the
for
chat. Ironic how Kenny got signed to the Browns, and now the guy he was jealous of, Russ, is visiting Cleveland. Haha. Did you guys see the introductional video of Kenny walking through the equipment area? That has got to be some of the most awkward shit I've ever watched.
I didn't see that. I seen a still shot of him during his introductory press conference.
Check it, dude. It is some of the most awkward stuff you'll ever see. He's like, "This is a nice facility you got here." Like, wow. Small talk. It's like elevator small talk.
Did he really say that? Did he say that when he first came to the facility?
Bro, he walked into the facility not 2 seconds later. What a nice facility you got. It's all being nice and everything. He don't want to be there.
Who wants to be in Cleveland?
I don't know. Okay, apparently Myles Garrett.
Well, he's got how much money to really stay in Cleveland, huh?
Nobody said this. Anyone who thinks Mason Rudolph gives you a chance to compete for Super Bowl doesn't know anything about football. I mean, I can't say anyone said that. So I guess you're right.
I can't find the video.
Go to the Browns Twitter.
It's on the Browns Twitter.
Yes.
I got to go in that cesspool.
They chose Rudolph instead of matching Fields' contract. Steelers are garbage and y'all are cool with mediocre bullshit. I'm not. How can. Dude, you clearly haven't watched this entire week. I'm not a fan whatsoever of what they've done in free agency. I am not okay with mediocre bullshit. You didn't see any of the videos we did all offseason. I was upset they didn't match Fields' contract. I wanted them to match Fields' contract. I criticized them for not matching Fields' contract, but because he's not an option anymore, we got to go with what's left, which is Mason.
Yeah, we criticized the Steelers. I mean, I've been criticizing the Steelers in this live stream alone about the fact that they did not have a proper plan at quarterback.
No, which is why we're all desperate enough to ask for Mason.
The money that the Jets gave Fields, I have no doubt in my mind the Steelers could have matched that offer. Maybe even upped it just a little bit just to make sure Fields is here. The fact of the matter is, Fields was not, he didn't trust the Steelers. And I can't blame him. The Steelers didn't want to commit to Fields. Fields felt that.
I don't know why. And I hate bringing Fields back up because he's officially a Jet now, but I don't know how they couldn't commit to him. Because regardless this season, it was going to be a bridge, whether that was Fields or not. Fields, I thought, was the best option available for them in regards of how they want to run the offense.
Yeah.
Clearly, the Steelers didn't think that themselves, and they think, hey, let's go get the oldest quarterback we can get.
Because their mindset is championships, which it should be. But the fact of the matter is the Steelers are nowhere near championship caliber.
Yeah, their mindset should be championships, but their mindset should be, okay, we're not there yet, but what do we got to do to get there
How
first?
can we get to that point? Because we're not at that point, but they think that they're at that point.
2025 is not about winning a Super Bowl because you're not nowhere
No!
close. 2025 is about setting up for the rookie quarterback in 2026.
No,
that's what that's about.
Like, the Steelers are nowhere near at the realm of where the Commanders are at right now. I can't believe I just said that. Where the Lions are at right now.
Yeah, imagine saying that 5 years ago.
The Bills are at right now.
I just realized I totally fucked up Scotty's name in the ticker. For those that don't know, we picked up Scotty Miller and Ben Skowronek again. They resigned them today.
Yeah, we resigned 2 of our receivers from last season. Scotty Miller, Scotty Too Hottie, and Ben Skowronek.
Yep, Scotty Miller and Ben Skowronek are back. Depth signings. Again, it's what the Steelers have been doing all offseason, all free agency rather.
If you're not down with that, we've got 2 words for you.
Hands him with it too. Can we trade for a quarterback? I will gladly trade for a Joe Milton or a Malik Willis
I'm not opposed to either.
to play backup, to play third string, to play whatever.
That is only if ARod does not come to Pittsburgh or if Russ doesn't return to Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
I would actually rather go down that route.
If ARod's deal falls, go with Mason and trade for Willis or Milton and then draft someone on day 3.
Yeah. That way you would have 4 quarterbacks. So it would be Mason, Milton, or Willis. A rookie quarterback and Skylar Thompson.
Well, Skylar Thompson wouldn't make the roster.
He'd be a part of that quarterback carousel. He'd still be in that room.
Sure.
So I thought was named in that category.
He'd probably be a practice squad piece, but
Yeah,
yes.
if anything, yeah.
But
But
that's only the quarterback room for 2025.
yeah.
That's only enough to get you through the season. That way, whatever pick you have in 2026, you use that in some capital to go trade up and get your guy then.
Yeah. I'm not opposed to that, considering the circumstances.
Dude, again, I have settled with what 2025 is going to be. So it's not the greatest. It's not. It's not what we're used to. No, it's not. Would it be another mediocre season for the Steelers? Absolutely.
But honestly,
perhaps,
I'll tell you,
perhaps a room like that could give them exactly what they need, which is a down year.
and a wake-up call, an acknowledgement of, like, listen, man, like, we really need to do a mini rebuild.
Yeah.
And a quarterback room like that would intrigue me a little bit more. It would give me something to look forward to rather than ARod coming to the Steelers.
Really?
In my opinion, yes. Just intrigue of how the quarterback competition would be, just how these guys would be able to sling it, how they could be able to run the offense, how they would be apart. Though they're just backup quarterbacks, I know that. But if I'm going to be real, that would intrigue me a little bit more about how the offense will be run with those guys in ARod.
Because of his drama.
I just don't trust Aaron Rodgers.
I don't either.
I don't. It would not excite me one bit.
Yeah.
That might just be me. I might be in the boat myself. I just have zero faith, zero care for ARod in a Steelers uniform.
Do you think we still make the playoffs? No. No. No.
Dude, it would be a wasted spot.
Again. Cool boy with 199. Do you guys think we get Cooper Kupp? I don't think we get Cooper Kupp. I think they are within his sweepstakes. I would love a Cooper Kupp because no matter who the quarterback's going to be, if you stack him with enough weapons, that might give you something to work with on the offense. Something. I don't know how much success there would be, but you're telling me a quarterback wouldn't love DK, Pickens, and Kupp, along with Muth, and whoever the hell we're going to have at running back?
Yeah.
As long as the O-line works out.
If you're not down with that, we've got 2 words for
Y'all think that
you.
Russ and Arthur Smith beef went deep? I think it went deep enough, to make the Steelers reconsider Russ coming back. Because I think
That's one way of looking
because
at it.
with the DK trade, you would think Russ was going to be back. He's not. He's visiting other teams. I think that disagreement between the coaches and Russ, or Smith and Russ, I think that was enough for the Steelers to be like, you know what? Russ is like a last resort situation now.
So what makes them think ARod's going to be any better?
I have no fucking clue.
Like seriously, like, do they really want to see for themselves how that's going to turn out?
The only positive I can make out of an Aaron Rodgers run with the Steelers is, one, it has to be cheap. And if it is, one or two things are going to happen. He either leads you to a playoff spot, again, not push, a playoff spot, or he gives you one of the worst seasons we've had in a while, which I don't hate the idea of because I think they are so due, and I think it's necessary. Because that would open up ownership's eyes, and that would give them everything they need to go get the next franchise. Because them signing these aging quarterbacks and trying to just be right there and stay right where they're at and being within that playoff shot and being so fucking mediocre, that's why we don't have a quarterback. So
But
if
say we make a playoff spot. Say we secure a playoff spot. It would just be going with that pattern. Then the Steelers will never learn their lesson.
Exactly. Which is why I don't hate the idea of Mason and whoever running.
That's why I say I prefer it. I would be more intrigued and excited to see those quarterbacks in that room running the offense than ARod.
Colton says we need to go like 5-12 or 4-13. Here's the thing with Tomlin, though, man. Again, as much as we criticize Tomlin, I'm not expecting a losing season. I'm not expecting a playoff spot either. But I'm not expecting a losing. Maybe this year. This might be the first year. Because I don't know who the quarterback's going to be. I legitimately don't. But until he's had a losing season, there's not really one to expect, or there's not really reason to expect one. But if there was one, it would probably be this year because, again, who the hell is slinging the football? We are in probably the worst spot at quarterback right now we've been in 20 years because we literally have no one.
Nope. All we have is Mason Rudolph.
At least with Kenny, before he showed that he was a bust, you knew who the quarterback was.
Yeah.
You knew who the quarterback was.
Sure, from that standpoint,
we don't know who the quarterback is right now. We are in the worst quarterback situation we've been in 20 years. Legitimately.
And we're just waiting on ARod's word. Is it a yes or a no?
Get a top 3 or top 5 pick. I wish. I think we so need it. And frankly, I mean, history shows you need to get a pick like that to get a great quarterback. Not all the time.
If you're not down with that, we've got 2 words for
Anthem
you.
with a 5. I say sign Aaron, then Tomlin is in the hot seat this season. Anyways, maybe this might be the push they need to fire Tomlin. You would hope.
You think, right?
I don't think Art the Clown has any balls to do that. He doesn't have a spine to do it. I think no matter, let's say Tomlin has a losing season this year. He's going to be like, well, 1 out of 19 seasons isn't so bad. You know?
I can just hear it already
Oh,
at
I
the
know.
end of season press
I know.
conference.
I can hear it too.
Or the end of season interviews.
You know, we didn't have a quarterback this year, but one losing season out of 19 seasons isn't so bad. So, yeah, we can just, I think the situation is we're going to go get a quarterback this year. And
They still won't make quarterback changes.
probably not.
Or coaching changes.
No, they won't.
That's what I meant.
No, they won't.
Coaching changes. Because they didn't. They made 0 coaching changes.
Did Mason and GP have a good connection relationship? Yes, they did. There was never any beef there whatsoever.
No. When it comes to Mason, there's no beef.
Pickens went off when Mason was the quarterback.
He had a Randy Moss-like game against Cincinnati, and he just dominated Seattle's defense.
And again, that was in a scheme that never threw the ball deep.
No.
Arthur Smith loves to throw the ball deep. He schemes these guys to go deep.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of the O-line holding up and these receivers getting open and the quarterback to get them the ball. I can confidently say right now, Mason, out of all the quarterbacks we have on the roster, which is only 2, Mason can do that. Rodgers, he can probably still do it too. But he has a lot of issues, and he's a shell of his former self. And I feel like their reasoning for signing Rodgers is the wrong approach.
Yes.
That's the problem we have with Rodgers. That's the problem we have at ARod.
Mm-hmm.
Is their reasoning for signing him and his age and the cap that he might cost. That's why we don't want him here.
It would be a terrible mix.
Plus his drama.
Yes. I don't want that a part of the Steelers. I don't want to have to hear about it. I don't want to have to deal with it. I don't know why the Steelers would even put their toes into that pool. If I'm the Steelers, I would avoid that completely, but here we are because they have no better option. They have no option at quarterback right now.
No.
So here we are.
I don't like Aaron Rodgers. I don't like the Steelers signing him for reasons we stated.
We've got 2 words for
Gayu Wavy. I think I pronounced that right. With $4.99, would you trade TJ Watt in the first round pick to the Titans for the first pick and Cam Ward if they would accept it? Yeah. I actually favor the idea of trading TJ because he's not winning shit in Pittsburgh.
No, he's not.
And I don't think paying TJ $40 million at his age when you don't have a quarterback isn't this. I don't think that's the smartest business move. If you had a quarterback and you were so close, makes all the sense in the world. Go for it. You're not there yet.
No, but I can already see ARod coming to the Steelers, and then they'll pay Watt the contract. So you're paying ARod however much.
And then
Lord
extending,
knows what.
And then extending Watt's contract.
Only for the same result.
Correct.
I don't know how I feel about that, man. I know it doesn't. I don't feel good about it.
All I can tell you right now is that if that happens, I'm not falling for the hype.
No, neither
There's
am
going to be
I.
a lot of people that are going to hype it up. I ain't falling for the hype. I think a lot of people are opening their eyes more as well.
Yeah. Because I tried with Russ and Fields, the Russ Fields duo.
Yeah.
I tried. But then, like, toward the 5-game losing streak, I was like, yep, here we go again.
In reality, I would like the Steelers to do a complete rebuild, but I know they're not going to do it. That includes trading Minka, including Watt. Grab so much capital that you build everything from the ground up.
Yeah.
That does include changing coaching. Obviously, none of that's going to happen.
None of it has happened.
I think that's what they need to do because they need a whole change of scenery. But that's not going to happen. That's why I would like them to do. Ownership won't ever do it.
No, they're too stubborn.
I got a feeling that's the plan in the draft. Trade TJ. That's not going to happen. They're not trading TJ. They would never. They're going to ensure that he wears only one jersey. And for TJ, that's incredibly honorable of him. Doesn't even have a playoff win under his belt.
Nope. Fun fact of the day, guys.
Yeah, not so fun.
No.
Not so fun. But no, they're never going to do that. They're never going to do that. Cam is going to be a dangerous quarterback, wherever he goes, a super athletic gunslinger. Yeah, Cam Ward's going to be great. I mean, he's going to be a Titan. I mean, we all know that.
As he should.
He's going to be a Titan. Who's going to be their quarterback? Russ? No.
No.
Cam Ward is going to be the number 1 overall pick come April.
No, he's going to be the guy. He's going to be the guy for Tennessee, and I would not be surprised if he were to be the day 1 starter. I think he's capable of being that. You're not running with Levis. You're not going with Levis.
No.
I think you got to give the reins to Ward. I think
They're going to.
I think without a doubt he's going to be able to outbeat Will Levis. So Ward's going to be a Titan.
Right.
What the other quarterbacks are, beats me.
Right.
I just hope that the Steelers don't reach for one.
Draft Dart, make Thompson 3rd string, and Rudolph starter. Again, man, only if Dart falls out of the first, but he's not going to do that. Because Dart's a first. I don't think Dart is a first-round quarterback, but there are going to be so many teams that are going to project him as a first-round quarterback. I think in the first round, it's a little too rich for a guy like Dart, although I like Dart a lot. He's not falling out of the first round. He's not.
Well, looking at the draft order, because I want to see what the order is. So maybe we can kind of get a heads up or a glimpse of like where Dart could be taken. And I'm thinking late first, because I don't think he goes early.
I wouldn't be surprised if he's the second quarterback off the board, Bobby.
Well, Cam Ward's definitely one. After that, it's really a matter of like, okay, like where is the next quarterback going to be?
Well, I keep hearing Shador might fall, and I don't want Shador either.
No, a lot of negative feedback about his drama, his leadership capabilities, plus the fact that his dad, Dion, is going to have a huge say, apparently, about where he's going to go. I don't know if any team's going to want to deal with it.
Right.
So you might be right. Dart might be the second quarterback off. It's just a matter of like when. When would that be?
I have no idea.
I have no idea either. I'm looking at the draft board right now. I couldn't tell you.
Colton, absolutely. Yes, but he's not falling to the 3rd round.
Unless a team earlier on trades all the way back and makes it more digestible to take a Dart early or earlier than thought, but they trade back in the first.
Okay.
That could happen. That could be the Saints, who have the 9th overall pick.
At 9?
If they trade back, if they opt to, make it more digestible.
I don't know. They might go. I don't know.
I don't know. The Raiders maybe if they really want to trade all the way back, but they could take Genti at that pick if
they just traded for Geno.
Yeah, I know. They haven't come to terms with a contract extension yet.
If you're not down
It's not going to be
with
immediate.
that, we've got 2 words for
The
you.
Colts,
I wouldn't be surprised if the Steelers draft a quarterback 1st round. I would not be a fan of that.
not at 21.
I would not be a fan of them going quarterback in the first round this year. It's not this year's job. That's next year's job. Go D-line first round. D-line or running back. What about we take a wide receiver first round? I'm not going to rule it out, but we just got DK, so it's not a pressing need anymore. You got to question Pickens' future for sure, but I don't think it's a pressing need.
No, I wouldn't consider it. I mean, you trade away a second-round pick for DK.
Well, you also have the franchise tag if they want to do that with Pickens next year.
Yeah, you have that
after 2025. Saw a mock with the Giants trading down to get Dart. Where they sit at?
The Giants, I believe they have the 3rd pick.
The 3rd pick?
They should have
That
the
makes
3rd
sense.
pick. Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah, the Giants, they got the 3rd pick. How far would they trade down, though? Who would want to trade in front of New England? Because New England's got the 4th pick.
It depends what talent's on the board. Maybe
would Travis Hunter be on the board at that time?
Yeah. There's going to be a lot of teams that are going to want to trade up for a guy like Travis Hunter or maybe an Abdul Carter.
Yeah, maybe him.
But the question is, who do the Browns take it to? Because if they don't take Hunter...
Would it be Hunter?
Probably. Hunter or Carter, but they just resigned Garrett.
Yeah, so they don't need him.
So probably Hunter.
Well, they could use Carter because they did trade away Zadarius Smith. So maybe they want somebody opposite of Garrett.
Maybe.
That's a possibility.
Maybe.
Like a true bona fide starter, not Isaiah McGuire.
I guess.
I don't know.
All I know is Carter is going to be a top. All I know is Ward, Carter, and Hunter are going to be top 5 picks. Probably the first 3.
I mean,
undoubtedly.
You'd expect, right?
I mean, maybe they go quarterback, but they just traded for Kenny, and he sees himself as a starter. And I see myself as a superhero, but I'm not here wearing a super suit. Will Howard in the later rounds? Yes. I want to mind Will Howard in the later rounds. Absolutely.
Not opposed.
I definitely want to mind. I want to mind any quarterback in the later rounds, like a Will Howard, a what's his name? Kyle McCord, a Travis Shuck. I want to mind any of those later on in the later rounds. Because then that said guy would be your future backup for years to come, for the next 4 years.
That's right.
If he has to sit as the 3 behind Mason and whoever's the starter for this year, so be it. And then come 2026, 2027, he's your primary backup. Whoever that could be. Will Johnson at 21 if he falls. Yes.
If they want to think of the future of the corner position.
I know we need D-line and running back, and I'm so pressed on that. But if Will Johnson falls, you don't pass on him.
That's him or Jahdae Barron.
Jahdae Barron's hard to pass
too. It would be super hard to pass up on that.
Jahdae Barron's hard to pass on too. Another guy I don't see them passing on if he's there is Genty.
Yeah. If they really wanted to think future for the running back.
I think Hampton will be there, so he'll be a high suggestion.
High consideration for sure. See, with corner, because Darius Slay's officially a Steeler. He signed his contract. He had his introductory press conference. But again, he's 34. He can still play, and he's going to mentor the young guys. That's fine. But he is 34, and the future of the cornerback position, cornerback 2, opposite of JPJ, still kind of uncertain for the future.
Right.
So do the Steelers consider cornerback depending on who may fall first round? But then you push in defensive line and running back later down because you don't have a second.
I would hope so. But again, I've taken corner off the board because I don't think the Steelers are going to look at corner as a top need.
Right.
I still view it as a top need because Slay's a damn rental, but I don't think the Steelers are looking at it as a top need. Thus, that's why I'm taking corner off of the board in the first round in my mind. I don't want them to take it off the board, but I'm thinking it the way the Steelers are thinking it. Let's see. I'm going to put a new poll in the chat.
If you're not down with that, we've got 2 words for
What would
you.
a mini rebuild look like? A mini rebuild would be literally like a 5 and what?
Technically, it would be 5-12.
5-12 record.
If you're not down with that, We've got 2 words for
And some of the
you.
2 mock drafts say Jackson Dart drops to the Browns at 33.
Don't wish him like that. Don't wish him on that. Do not wish that on him. Do not wish that on him.
I wouldn't be surprised. I think it'd be funny.
You guys, we think any of our defensive starters soon like Highsmith. Oh, you saying we think? Are you saying you think we trade any of our defensive starters soon like Highsmith? Listen, I like Herbig a lot. That's all I'll say.
I'm not opposed. I just don't think it happens. But if we were to give Herbig an actual starting job in a starting position, because the guy's starter caliber, you take him off the Steelers and put him for any team that could use a pass rusher, Herbig's a starter for any other team, any other day.
I think so too.
Herbig is starter worthy. So I'm not opposed to it. I just don't know if the Steelers are actually going to want to do that. And Highsmith's still a great player.
He is when he's healthy. He's a big help in the run game. There's a lot of pressures.
A lot of pressure. Great pass rusher.
So you can't take anything away from Highsmith, but I'm not opposed to swapping that contract and giving Herbig the shot. Any chance of Asante Samuel Jr. still signing with us? Slim, very, very slim.
Actually, is there any updates?
Last I heard, he was hosted by the Cardinals. Last update
yes,
I
that's
heard.
right. 5 hours ago.
I would like us to sign Samuel, and then that would be your bona fide slot guy. And then when Slay leaves, you bounce him outside opposite JPJ. Then you would actually think of the future at corner rather than just renting somebody again like Slay.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I would hope they do. I just don't think they add a third corner.
No, because I already got two starter capable worthies, but one primarily as a depth guy that's going to compete in the slot.
That's why I'm taking corner off the board in the first round.
Right.
Or
Which
first and third round.
I can understand that. I'm just more of an open-minded kind of thinker when it comes to
So
corner.
you're thinking what the Steelers should do. I'm thinking of what the Steelers are going to do.
Which is fine, like two different,
Two perspectives.
yeah.
Might be AI. What do you mean might be AI?
What?
Would Russell Wilson be willing to back up Mason Rudolph? No. If Russ comes back, he's a starter. Tomlin's not going to bench Russ.
No, because he didn't.
Trade back to get our second pick back. I agree. It depends who's on the board, but I think that's a serious consideration.
Yeah.
As of now, I'm thinking.
I'd be all for that.
As of now, I'm sticking to my guns. I think D-line's going to be the pick of 21.
Yep, which 45% of the poll says D-line.
Yep. Where are we at in the chat?
If you're not down with that,
Oh, I'm down with that, Ben. Don't worry.
we've got 2 words for
And I'm glad you brought this up with the two. You think they signed fullback Kyle Juszczyk?
Yes, I do think that they do sign Kyle Juszczyk. By the way, shout out to TJ Black in the chat. I don't know if he's in the chat, but he hit us up on Twitter X last night and mentioned it to us, and we briefly discussed it last night about Juszczyk meeting with the Steelers, and then that was made official this morning by Adam Schefter. There's no deal yet, but I think the Steelers do sign Juszczyk because Arthur Smith wants a fullback. We need a fullback. I know he's 33 years old, but he's still the best fullback that the NFL has seen in years. The guy can do everything.
Yeah.
He's a legitimate hybrid.
Dude, he's a 9-time Pro Bowler. He will be 34 next month, but the guy can still ball. The guy is a baller. You ask him what to do, he'll do it. You ask him to run, he'll run. You ask him to catch, he'll catch. You ask him to block, he'll block. He's a bona fide, pure fullback. And we could use a legitimate fullback. Now, at his age, he may only be here for a year, but Arthur Smith is all about using the fullbacks. And we tried that with Connor Hayward, and it just didn't work out.
Hayward's not good. Connor Hayward's not good.
It didn't work out.
In fact, I don't think Connor Hayward makes the roster this year.
He'll
be reserved on the practice squad just so that he can still say hi to his brother every now and then. But as a football player,
so you don't think they keep 4 tight ends?
No, there's no point.
Because that would be Pat, Darnell, Donald, what's his name?
Perham?
Donald Perham, the former Charger, and Connor Hayward. So you don't think they keep 4 tight ends?
No, there's no point.
So say we sign Kyle Juszczyk. That takes 1 tight end off because we got the fullback. So it'll just be 3 tight ends, 1 fullback. That's more ideal.
Well, there'll be 4 halfbacks.
Or 4 halfbacks.
So Warren, Gainwell, a rookie, and Juszczyk as your 4 halfbacks. 3 tight ends. The only reason they kept Hayward is because he was the tight end fullback hybrid. That's why they kept 4 tight ends, because he was technically the fullback, not listed as a halfback.
No, but if you sign Juszczyk, then he takes Connor Hayward's role completely.
Immediately. And then you can line him up.
And that's a much bigger improvement.
And you can line him up at fullback, H-back, tight end, wherever.
And it's something that Arthur Smith wants. He wants to add. He wants to use. As he should.
Yeah.
And Juszczyk, I mean, best fullback in the game still. Even at his age. The guy's a baller. So I'm all for bringing him in.
I agree. I think it actually happens, man. I think it actually happens. Yeah, where were we in the chat? Where are we at? I just seen it. Where's it at? I don't think Aaron Rodgers can win more games than Mason Rudolph, so I just don't see the advantage of spending a ton of money just to bring them in. I think Aaron Rodgers would lead us to more wins because I think he's the better quarterback and a better IQ. And at this stage, even still, a pretty decent arm. But would it result in... Here's the thing. Would more wins result in a better season? No. It would not. More wins would not result in a better season.
It would result in the same old, same old.
We've seen the same old for how many years now? So if we have such a bad season with Mason being the quarterback, so be it. It's necessary.
Again, I expect nothing of this upcoming season. I'm just trying to take whatever positive I can when that season comes about.
Trade pick 21 for Anthony Richardson instead of Garbo quarterback. If you trade the first round pick for Anthony Richardson, Omar Khan needs fired. Anthony Richardson, there is so much wrong with him. I don't mind the idea of trading for him, but not for anything more than a day 3 pick.
Here, now that this is brought up, hypothetically speaking, let's say Richardson is traded to the Steelers. Do you think the Steelers can get the best out of Richardson?
No.
Do you think they can develop him properly?
No.
Do you think he could pan out in a Steelers uniform?
No.
Because I don't either.
We don't have no quarterback gurus. Anthony Richardson has so many issues. So many issues.
We've got 2 words for you.
I'll get you in a minute. He can't.
Well, you got another one coming, so you might want to slow your roll there, bro.
If you're not down with that, we've got 2 words for you.
Hands on with it too. Are we trading back for more capital? I hope so.
I would.
If we can trade back and still get a guy like Grant or Hampton or Harmon, do it. Lewis with a 5. Steelers may have 4 comp picks next year. Should Steelers use those assets to trade in the top 10 for a quarterback in 2026?
Yes.
That's exactly what they're doing.
Yes.
That's why they haven't made a splash in free agency, because they don't want to cancel out those comp picks. That's Omar Khan's long game. The only negative is we're aging at corner and potentially quarterback. And we have to address corner again next year rather than fucking fixing it this year.
Yeah, I know. They still got plenty of cap left as well.
They still got $50 million.
And
Well, they got about $43 million roughly.
And Lord knows that I'm sure the majority of that will go to the quarterback if ARod comes.
Yeah.
If not, then they'll just have a lot of extra dough for whatever.
Cody says that's just another field situation, but worse.
Oh, much worse.
Anthony Richardson is not good. He was overdrafted. He was raw coming out of Florida.
He's an athlete.
He's an athlete and has a strong arm, but he can't stay healthy. He makes a lot of bad decisions. He turns the ball over too much, and his completion percentage is some of the lowest it's ever been in the NFL. In fact, 2 of the lowest completed quarterbacks are part of the Colts roster.
Yeah, Anthony Richardson and Daniel Jones.
The Colts only brought in Daniel Jones for competition. They're looking at Anthony Richardson and saying, if you can't beat out this man, it's over. Like, they're giving him an easy competition. And they're saying, if you can't beat him, it's over.
Yep. Are the Colts really going to run with that room?
Yeah. The Colts are going to suck this year.
Yeah, big time. Wow.
They might be like middle of the road, if anything. I like Richardson's upside, but he's going to need to be with a certain staff.
You like take Richardson out of the Colts system and put him with Kevin O'Connell, you might get the best out of Richardson. Real talk.
Real shit.
Him or Kyle Shanahan. Probably get the best out of Anthony Richardson with those 2 coaches. Or even Sean McVay.
Yeah.
Not the Steelers. And some of the two. We should have went for Sam Darnold, honestly. Not with that contract.
No, you want
Not in general, but not with that contract.
I got to respectfully disagree. You want to pay Sam Darnold over $100 million?
I mean, that's the impact of Kevin O'Connor right there. He was able to get Sam Darnold $100.5 million.
Who's the ideal quarterback in 26? As of now, I'm really high on Nico from Tennessee. I know everyone's going to say Archie Manning. I don't think he's going to declare until 2027.
We really can't say Archie unless he actually declares. Plus, I mean, you got to give him a full season at the same time.
Yeah.
We've seen glimpses, which is promising, but he needs a full season out there.
And he's only going to be in his sophomore year.
So, like, maybe slower rolling Archie.
I think that's for 2027.
Most likely.
But next year, maybe Nico, if he declares, because, I mean, Nico might not even declare.
Yeah.
I'm going to throw his name in there. This is not someone I'm particularly high on. Is Drew Allard from Penn State. There's a reason he returned. He did not look good in the playoffs either. I'll throw his name in there. He's not someone I'm particularly high on, but I'm sure the Steelers are going to have their radar on him.
Yeah, I'm sure they already have looked at him. I mean, he's been in Penn State for a couple years now. But I would anticipate it being his last year for Drew Allard. I mean, it's a crucial season for him.
I know. I mean, you got the kid from Clemson. He looked good at the end of the last season. You got Garrett from LSU.
Yeah. Yeah, you do.
I mean, you could say the class isn't too crazy or it's pretty undetermined at the moment, but it's better than, I think it's going to be better than this year's. That's why I say 2026 should be the year for the quarterback. Sam Darnold was only good because of Kevin O'Connell. Kevin O'Connell should get probably 40% of Sam Darnold's contract.
50. Let's make it 50.
Grant Nussmeier is the real deal. He'll be 24 years old, but the last two older LSU quarterbacks worked out very well. Yeah, they did. Yes, they did.
Yes, sir.
And I'm not worried about a quarterback being 24 years old.
Not anymore.
They can play for 15, 20 years.
That was one of your big critiques about when we drafted Kenny. His age.
Well,
you
that
don't like old. Yes.
And some of his on-field play, which
But I mean, the point of the argument is you don't like old ass rookies.
I don't.
Certain positions, it don't matter to me. For quarterback, it don't matter. For D-line, to a degree, it don't matter. If it's like running back or cornerback, then yes, I understand.
Where is Cooper Kupp signing? I heard that the Broncos are in him. What are we looking at for 2026 quarterback draft? Literally just mentioned some of the names, man.
Yep, just mention them.
And believe me, that's going to be a very intense watch all college season. I will be keeping a close eye on a lot of names.
So would I. I try to keep up with college football more so than I ever did. But I think this upcoming college season, I'm definitely going to be keeping an eye out. Especially
me too.
at the QB position.
Well, especially,
If you're not down with that,
and we got a couple.
we've got 2 words for you.
Let's see. With a 499, BSG74. Have you heard of the comp pick theory that Steelers reporters are guessing why? Yes, literally. We literally talked about it a couple live streams ago on Monday and made a short on it. They're saving all the comp picks so they can trade up. Now, 4 comp picks aren't going to be enough to trade up into the top whatever. They're going to have to trade their first. They're going to have to trade another first, probably a second or a third rounder of that year and the year after or whatever. But at least it's more digestible to use those comp picks to trade up.
Yeah.
Which that's why Khan hasn't done anything in the offseason, in the free agency period. That's why he hasn't made a splash.
It's because that's got to be the plan.
That's his long game.
It's got to be.
We've got 2 words for you.
Jay Kula with a 499. Trade our first rounder this year for the Browns' first round next year. Then we get pick 1 overall and get Archie. The Browns aren't trading with us.
No, they're not doing that.
We would need like the. I don't know what team what team could be the number 1 overall next year.
The Colts.
But they're gonna need a quarterback. I'm trying to think of a team that doesn't need a quarterback.
Jaguars, maybe?
Yeah, I could see that.
Jaguars, maybe. Maybe the Patriots, maybe. I don't know. It depends on Vrabel's first year as the coach.
No, I don't think this coaching staff can develop a quarterback.
No.
No, I don't. That doesn't mean we shouldn't take a quarterback in 2026. Eventually, we're still going to have to take a quarterback. Mason versus Kenny Sunday Football going to feed the homeless. Oh, my God. I can't wait. Let me tell you that, or Thursday Night Football especially, if you want to make it, there's just a cherry on top of whatever. That's going to feed generations, bro. That's going to feed families.
Chills when we get Mason Rudolph versus Kenny Pickett week 1 Monday Night Football.
If Omar Khan trades up and gets us our franchise quarterback in 2026, we may get a statue built in Pittsburgh. Some may say he should already get one. Not there yet. I'm not there yet.
No, but if a statue were ever to be made, I'll tell you that head of his would be very shiny.
There was a list of only 3 quarterbacks to have 50% or lower completion and lowest touchdowns. Jamarcus Russell, Tim Tebow, and Anthony Richardson. Yeah.
Oh, my. Oh. Wow, that's bad company.
Bro, the highest completion rating that Anthony Richardson has had in a single game was 66.7.
Ooh. That's pretty bad.
He only had 1 game last year of that. Everything else was like 47, 50%.
I'm actually going to take a look at this.
Look at his game log. It's pretty shit.
Let me look at it.
I don't know what the Colts were thinking. We will go 8-9, mark my words. I'm still saying 9-8 at best. At best. And I'm saying like 7. See, I got 7 what? 7. Would that be 7-10? Yeah, 7-10. At worst. As of now. Of course, we made him look kind of good against us. Yeah, that was before he got hurt in that game. And then Joe Flacco torched us.
We talking completion percentage?
Yeah.
Yeah, 63.6 against the Titans. 66.7 against the Jets.
Is Tyler Shuck that fast? 4.6 speed?
75 against the Steelers, but then he got hurt.
How you guys going to feel if Kenny or Russ comes in here and beat us? You better fire everyone on that goddamn defensive staff. Let me tell you right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I wouldn't be shocked. I wouldn't be shocked whatsoever, dude. We have a history of making bad quarterbacks look good.
Huh. Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do.
I don't know why.
If that were to happen, seriously, make changes.
The defensive scheme.
Don't even wait.
The defensive scheme sucks. It's so old.
Stale. Like the constant problems from 5 years ago. I mean, Julian Edelman even said it. Like, bro, like even when I played against them, it's like it's still the same problem.
Yeah, you put a linebacker on receiver, just have him go up the middle, wide open.
Yeah, I hear him talk about that on his show. I'm like, yeah, like it's obvious.
And he's been out of the league how long now? And he's already saying they're running the same shit as when I torched them.
Yeah. My God, man.
Doesn't take a genius to see that.
Highest paid defense, and you got a scheme like that.
Doesn't take a genius to say that.
Good Lord. We should have never let Flores walk.
No, we shouldn't have.
But
yeah, so as you guys know, the Steelers signed Mason 2-year, $8 million for $4.5 million guaranteed. They were signed Scotty Miller and Ben Skowronek today for depth. I love that Ben Skowronek's back. He's such a stud. You know, he didn't see a lot of playing time last year, but when his name was called, he's a gunner on special teams, and he's an awesome blocker.
Yeah, stand out on special teams. He's a guy that I'm sure Danny Smith just wanted to have back, bring him back. I'm glad that they did. Capable depth wide receiver as well. I'm just glad that Skowronek's back. I'm glad they actually made that move.
He's low-key a fan favorite. Scotty Miller coming back, I think this is more so for, like, camp bodies and a practice squad piece. He made a couple decent plays last year. Scotty Too Hotty did. He's probably going to be stashed on practice squad and be elevated in case anything happens.
No, I mean, they admire his speed. You know, he does have some chemistry with Arthur Smith, just a little bit. And, you know, he's a guy that, you know, like, whatever you ask him to do, he'll do it.
Right.
So, I mean, he's a worker. He's a guy that, you know, like, if you ever need to call upon, he'll be right there as a depth guy. Not a big deal.
Right. As you guys know, Steelers brought in Kyle Juszczyk for a visit today for a meeting. No deal has been made, and typically when they exit the building, that's not a good sign. But I still hope that we sign Juszczyk because less Connor Hayward, more of an actual good fullback, the better. If we're gonna run the ball. And of course today the Steelers made all the free agent signings official. Brandon Eichels signed a 2-year deal. We don't know what the contract details are, but he signed a 2-year deal. Darius Slay signed a 1-year deal. Gainwell signed a 1-year deal. DK, his trade got officiated today. All good stuff. I mean, it's not the most incredible free agency period, I'd be lying to you if I said I wasn't underwhelmed. If I wasn't disappointed, I sure am. I feel like they could have definitely done more. I know why they didn't, and that's everything to do with the comp picks next year. I don't entirely agree with it. I know why they're doing it, but I don't think that should be a reason to not make some splashes.
Yeah. They've fulfilled a lot of depth. They've fulfilled a lot of special teams value.
That's all they've done is depth.
Yeah.
It's like all depth. Outside of Darius Slay, it's all depth. Even the Mason signing, it's all depth.
Yeah.
And which depth is important, but I can't say that they really solidified some holes.
No.
Only for 2025. That's it.
But nothing for really the future.
No,
really.
And I feel like with the cap space, they had a golden opportunity to do that.
Now, D-line, like, we all expected them to go into the draft because of how stacked it is. Same with running back. Like, we already expected that with D-line and running back. Just with corner, they did sign 2 cornerbacks, Eccles and Slay. I just wish that they were a little bit more aggressive, or at least try to make an offer for some of the bigger name free agents, the younger free agents with experience that could have filled those positions outside and slot for years to come. Now, I stated yesterday that maybe those free agents didn't want to come to Pittsburgh. I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there.
It's a possibility.
Maybe they didn't see Steelers as a desired destination. Maybe the Steelers, maybe they didn't reach out. Maybe they just value Slay's veteranship and his mentorship to the younger guys, and they value Eccles' in and out versatility and his depth capabilities.
Now, because going back to D-line, they still could. They could bring in depth. I think they could use a good rotational piece, behind like a Benton and a Hayward to play that 3.
Yeah, because, they have Lowry still, and they have Montravis Adams.
And Logan Lee and DeMarvin Leal.
Yeah.
Or is Leal a free agent?
No. Leal's got 1 more year.
Okay. So they got that, which isn't the greatest depth. So maybe they could still bring in, a veteran piece for that, like a Jerry Tillery or a Derek Nottie or guys like that, right? Like a Charles Emmanuel potentially. But if they don't, could you see them double dipping at D-line? Because I think they should.
I think it's so stacked, defensive line in the draft. I think that they can.
Because I think you can get a nose tackle and then a future 3-tech or a backup 3-tech behind Hayward, behind Benton. I think there's too much talent to not do that in the draft. I think you got a prime spot to do that. First round, you go and get a guy like Grant to play the nose first, and then, or you can grab a guy like Harmon who could play the 3-tech, or you have a guy in the 4th or 5th round you want to grab that can play the nose. Any way you want to look at it. I think double dipping a D-line in the draft is a smart way to go. Now, the Steelers only got 6 picks, though.
They do. But, with D-line, because of how stacked it is, they could find a starter anywhere. So I think it's a high chance and a high possibility they do. And I look at the defensive line depth in the room right now. It's Adams, Lowry, and Leal. Both of them, I think they have 1 year left each, all 3 of them, on their current contracts.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, what would be the future of the depth chart look like? What would the future of the depth chart be after this upcoming season?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah.
Double dipping at defensive line in the later rounds, 4th, 5th round, 6th, 7th potentially. I see it as a high possibility. I could see it.
Electric Visual says Calais Campbell just seems like a Steeler. I can't believe that man's still playing.
Ain't he, was he 39?
And he's 38.
38.
And
okay.
They would go on the theme of what they've done and adding older guys. So I could see it. For a year, I could see it. I'm not the biggest fan of it. I mean, would he start? Can he still start? If he starts, I just don't see how.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, let me check because I think he was a Dolphin last year.
He was.
Let me see. Yeah, 38. He'll be 39 September 1st.
Wow.
Yeah.
And he's still playing.
He started 17 games for Miami. The past 2 years for Atlanta and Miami. He was Atlanta in 2023, Miami in 2024. He started every single game and played.
So he would be the starter.
So he can still go.
He's also still a great gap guy.
So if you want to elect to, hypothetically speaking, if you want to elect to bring him in, it obviously would not take defensive line off the board the first round.
No, because then that rookie would just be like the rotational guy. He'd fill in for Hayward or Campbell when they're gashed or when they got to come out for rundowns or whatever, right?
And looking at the theme and the pattern of how they use their rookies, they don't like to rush them in. They don't like to start them immediately.
Or what could happen? What could happen is you sign Campbell, you play Hayward and Campbell early on obvious rundowns, and then you grab someone with great pass rush upside early on, like a Derek Harmon or even a Kenneth Grant or whatever, and then you have them play on pass downs for that interior push.
Yeah, you could really rotate a lot of those guys with that defensive line group.
I could see that.
I'm not opposed. But again, the point for D-line, why we got rid of Ogunjobi was the safe cap and get stronger and better push and better run stopping abilities, as well as getting young on the defensive line.
Right.
That's more the ideal situation.
They dropped the ball on Justin Fields. We could have easily matched the Jets. I agree. I don't know why they didn't. And thus,
I don't think
we are wearing Mason Rudolph jerseys again. Who would have thought, right?
I don't think the money was the issue. I don't.
Would want Cousins over all the other options. That's a lot of money.
I think I'm good.
It's a lot of money. Now, he's a good dude, though. He's a leader. He's humble. You know, he doesn't bring anything bad to the team.
No.
His quarterback play at this stage could be considered questionable, but he's a good dude. Very good dude. It's just a contract is way too much. He's
pricey.
aging.
He's 30. Is he going to be 37?
And the Falcons aren't getting rid of him. They have admitted that. They're going to pay him to be the backup.
All that money for the backup.
Yeah, they can afford it. They sure can afford it.
There's a reason why Cousins did get benched for Michael Penix. Because I can't remember what stretch of weeks it was, but Cousins only threw like one touchdown in that span.
Right.
And how many interceptions? I mean, Cousins was just bad. He was playing so poorly. And they could have rode with that, but they were like, no, we're going to go with Penix. We're going to go with him. And they really tried and vied for a playoff push toward the tail end. I remember that Commanders game Sunday night.
Right.
That was a very good game. They actually had me as a fan on the edge of my seat. I'm like, oh my God, which team's going to win? Very compelling stuff.
Yeah.
So
hold on. Who's a bot in the chat? Somber. Who's a bot in the chat?
a bot?
I don't know.
What?
He said something about a bot in the chat. Now I'm curious. Jim Shivers, who's a STM member, appreciate you, says pick up Cooper Kupp meaning, and trade Pickens for a quarterback because he is not going to be here after this season, so get something for him. Plus, I don't like Pickens' attitude. He has another AB.
Well, there'll never be another AB in more ways than one.
Absolutely. I see why you say trade Pickens. I don't know if we get a contract extension. I'm not sure if he's even deserving of $30 million. His attitude problems are just way too much. I don't think Pickens has much leverage whenever it comes to a contract situation because he's too immature. He throws a fit all the time. We just traded for DK, so we're not like stressing over a receiver.
No.
I don't think Pickens has incredible leverage when it comes to a negotiation situation. I don't think we get an extension done. I think his contract runs out, and maybe the Steelers tag him, and that's a huge maybe. Huge maybe. So if you want to trade him, I'm not opposed. I'm not. But trading Pickens for a quarterback, what quarterback would that be? The only one that makes sense, and what everyone keeps saying, is Kyler. But I don't think that there's any legitimate chance of that happening.
I've heard nothing about that. I think that's just nothing but, a name that people have thrown out there and speculation.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any credible reports. And again, it wouldn't make sense for Arizona to trade away their franchise.
No.
It wouldn't.
It makes no sense whatsoever. Do you think the Steelers will go best player available or draft by positional need? Con, man, because he likes to go BPA, but I think they're going to go positional need.
I mean, they have not targeted defensive line yet in free agency.
No.
At this point, I don't know if they will. They still could. But, I mean, all signs point to the Steelers targeting defensive line round 1. Could it be another position? Of course. It could very well be running back, depending if Genty and or Hampton is on the board.
Right.
So, I don't want to take running back off the board. I don't want to say running back can't be the pick. It very well could be.
Oh, I think there's a great chance of that happening.
But, I mean, I think all signs point to D-line.
Me too. Visual says, I really like the idea of getting Mekhi Becton at right guard, sit Mason, or move him to left guard and Becton at right guard. I love that idea. I don't know how Becton or even Tevin Jenkins are still available.
Yeah, I'm surprised by that.
Tevin Jenkins, I hear the Bengals are very interested.
Well, the Bengals, they're still trying to figure out their guard situation.
And
so I'm surprised they haven't signed one guard yet.
So I would love Becton at right guard, move Mason back to left, or sign Jenkins, put him at left, keep Mason at right. I think that'd be great. Because then you're going to have to play Sayamalu anyway. You might as well make a splash while you can. Splash, quote unquote.
Yeah.
What their markets are, I don't know because they're not signed yet. Maybe you can get him cheap for 2 years, kind of like an Elliott.
Could do that.
I don't know.
The longer the wait, the cheaper the contract, maybe?
It seems that way, doesn't it?
Would they trade away Sayamalu for a pick?
I would.
What pick would they get, though?
I don't know.
A fifth at most, maybe?
Maybe. I don't know.
I'm not opposed.
Again, you're going to have to replace him anyway. I don't think Sayamalu stays here after this year, so you have to trade him at some point or replace him at some point.
And a guy like Jenkins, I mean, with that Bears whole line that was pretty bad last year, he's the one guy that stood out and was consistent.
Yeah.
So, get younger, get a more, I would consider a better guard. I think Jenkins at this stage is a little bit better than Sayamalu. Get younger, better, more ferocious up front.
Right.
Just make that whole line young, but I know that they value Sayamalu's experience and veteranship.
Yeah, that's why I don't expect it. Otherwise, it might have already happened.
Yeah.
Like, it's just one of those things I secretly hope happens because, again, you're going to have to replace her at some point. And maybe it does happen. You never know. Con's all about, keeping things open.
Yeah. I mean, it's never too late.
No. The fact that they're still available is just interesting to me. I swear to God, I thought they would have both been signed by now, especially a guy like Becton and how he performed with the Eagles.
Yeah, now they're going with Kenyon Green.
Who, the Eagles?
The Eagles, because they traded C.J. Gardner-Johnson to Houston.
Yeah, and the Texans, they traded away Kenyon Green, and they traded for Ed Ingram from the Vikings.
Oh, did they? I didn't hear about that.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
They replaced Kenyon Green with another Kenyon Green.
Yeah, what are they doing?
Dude, C.J. Stroud's going to die.
Yeah, he is.
C.J. Stroud is going to die.
He's got his wide receivers. He's got his defense. He's going to be scrambling a lot. He's got his running back, but he's going to be scrambling a lot.
I would consider Houston a potential trade candidate to trade back.
Actually, looking at the draft board, the Texans have the 25th pick. As a matter of fact, Houston, they have a first, second, third. Do they have 2 thirds? No, they don't. 1 third, 1 fourth. They could trade 1 pick away, right?
What's he? Doesn't I'll say the Bills. Do the Bills have an extra second?
Yes, they do.
Bryant Craig with a 5. What is your dream job? So, have you all thought about working for the Steelers? That's not happening. That's not happening.
Yeah, I don't think that happens at all, Brian. But I appreciate the super chat.
No.
Yeah, the Bills, they have 2 second rounders.
And dream jobs, I can't tell you.
No, neither can I.
I can't tell you what my dream job. I mean, I could tell you what my ambition was as a kid, but obviously that didn't happen.
Yeah.
It still pisses me off we didn't fire Pat Meyer. Dude, I don't know what they didn't make a single coaching change. They didn't replace anybody except guys that left because their contract expired. Makes no sense to me.
None.
Clown World, I agree. Running back in the 3rd round to help out Jalen. I think that's probably the sweet spot for running back. I think DJ Giddens is an option. Maybe a Tootin from Virginia Tech. Dylan Sampson, they just brought in for a top 30 visit. Or I think they're going to, and they were at the Tennessee Pro Day. So,
yeah,
I could consider him a huge, huge option in the 3rd round. speed. He's only 20 years old, 1 year as a bell cow. I think he's going to be a great option. The only issue he has is his fumbling. Clean that up, and he could be a solid lead back.
Yeah, he could be. Yeah.
Otherwise, I don't think any of the Buckeye guys are going to fall. I don't think Caleb Johnson falls. Scatterboo, I could see falling.
Scatterboo at 83.
I could see it.
I think that'd be a very good pick for his potential and the value. I think that'd be a good pick.
I could see Scatterboo falling in the third. Maybe that's wishful thinking, but
I don't know. Crazier things have happened.
I don't know. Tell Austin got to go. I agree. We know why he's not. We all know why he's not. None of these coaches have gone, bro. No, dude, we didn't make a single coaching change.
No,
Not a single coach. Like, how do we have a collapse like that, get blown out in the playoffs again, and this front office doesn't make a single coaching change? This coaching staff looks at everyone in that fucking staff and says, good job, good job, good job.
Literally,
what are we doing?
Literally, all the Steelers did was they brought in a new defensive back coach, Gerald Alexander. They brought in a new inside linebackers coach, Scott McCurley.
Who?
Former Cowboys linebacker coach. He worked with Parsons and all them other linebackers.
Landon Vander Esch, all them, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, he could have been.
That's literally about it.
That's good shit, pal. Yeah. Dude.
Steelers suck.
They do. Yes, they do, Rocky.
The timing, I swear.
Carol Toth, appreciate you. Shout out to Carol. Yes, they do suck. Why we're going to suck.
I'm just glad they kept Carl Dunbar.
No matter
that was the one coach I didn't want to go.
Yeah, they did keep Carl Dunbar.
Thank goodness.
No matter the quarterback, we're going to suck. It's going to be the same shit all over again.
Yep. I'm riding with Mason, okay?
If we have to.
If we have to, I'm riding with Mason.
If we have to. Otherwise, he'll be the backup. I don't know what ARod does. I don't know what he's doing. I don't know what we do if we don't get him. Maybe we just re-sign Russ after all. Maybe after all this, we just bring back Russ. Because that's still an option.
And then have to deal with Russ and Arthur Smith's disagreeing again?
That would be like a last resort.
Yeah, because Russ is the backup plan. I mean, imagine being Russell Wilson and the Steelers view you as the backup plan.
So he's the backup plan of the backup plan.
Yeah. And if you're Russ, I mean, like, how would you view that?
So he's technically the third stringer.
Sure.
I don't know, man. I don't know what we're doing. I don't know what we're doing.
I sure as hell hope the Steelers do know what they're doing.
Speaking of Russ, he just tweeted about a half hour ago. Grateful heart, God, you are always good. Indeed. Indeed he is.
Praise be. Praise the man upstairs.
Who the hell are you?
What?
There's this interesting account on X.
Well, there's a lot of them.
There is. Yeah, I ain't believing a word he said.
Why? Did you,
Okay, I'm going to read the tweet. Okay, first of all.
Did you manage to cross upon this tweet?
What tweet?
The tweet that you're looking at.
What do you mean?
You're looking at a tweet.
Yes, so I just came across
That's
it.
what I'm saying.
Yes.
Okay.
There's this account called NFL Talk. It says, update, Aaron Rodgers is going to sign with the Steelers. There has been no word on when it will be announced, but it's only a matter of time per league sources.
When was that tweeted?
I don't know. 6 minutes ago.
Yeah, what sources? Because how does that account know, but Schefter don't?
That's why I don't believe it.
Hell no.
You know what, though? I think that's the point of the tweet, is he doesn't have sources. He's just stating the obvious. Like, yeah, he's going to sign with the Steelers. It's just a matter of when.
Is he going to sign with the Steelers?
I don't know.
Is he?
Well, chat, do you guys still want ARod? Do you guys even want ARod? I don't.
I want him to stay on the beach with headphones on.
Do you like pina coladas? You know? Maybe that's what he was listening to on the headset.
Now he's listening to Forever Young.
Forever Young.
It's a great song. I want to be forever, you know?
Maybe he was listening to Man in the Box by Alice in Chains.
That's a great song, too.
It's a great song.
Damn good song. Maybe you'll listen to Creed.
Creed.
Higher.
Yes.
Or My Own Prison. What other song?
Listen, catch me at a function with Creed and some Miller Lite, and we're partying, bro. It's gonna be a great night.
Who knows what he was listening to?
It's gonna be a great night.
Maybe he was listening to Pat McAfee.
Let's see what the chat's saying. Do you guys want Aaron Rodgers? Let's see what the chat's saying. We got crying emojis. Hell no to ARod. I'm good without him. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, it's Mason.
Nathan says we. I think you meant me. You gotta turn the W to M. It's dumb at this point. This whole situation makes Steelers look foolish. Pretty embarrassing. I agree. Isaiah says, hell no. Knight Rider says, I'd rather us not have a quarterback and run 100% Wildcat instead of starting Mason.
Maybe you should pull it.
You know what? Fuck it. I want ARod better than all the scrubs we've had, says Spider. Hell no, I don't want Aaron Rodgers. Bring me Jameis and 9-8. I'll go on that fun wild ride.
Doug, Tomlin don't want Jameis.
No, I'll pass on Rodgers. Andre says yes. I want him, but at the same time, hell no.
If you're not down
what? What?
we've got 2 words for
Bryant
you.
with a 5. I heard the Cardinals might trade Kyler Murray to the Steelers. Would love to see a mobile quarterback like him in black and gold. I would accept Kyler Murray.
I just don't think there's any substance to those rumors.
I can't see why they would trade him. What's the reasoning behind it? They almost made the playoffs with him. Kyler Murray alone was one of the reasons why they almost made the playoffs. Why would they trade that away? You know?
And looking at where they stand in the draft, they have the 16th pick. They're not taking a quarterback at that. They're not doing that.
No.
Hell no. It just would not make sense.
Well, even if you do trade for Kyler, imagine how much it's going to cost.
A lot.
That's why I'd rather just draft somebody next year. You know?
That's the ideal situation.
You know, at this point, if we want to sign Aaron Rodgers, sign him, dude. Like, we're doing all this waiting.
Well, they want to sign him. It's just it's ARod.
Just as long as it's not expensive.
Well,
Like, I know he's going to bring some bullshit. I know he's going to bring an ego. I know he's going to have a lot of say in the offense and whatever and whatnot. Comes with the territory. You know? Just don't overpay for him. If he is a Steeler, just don't overpay for him. And same thing with Russ. Because I don't see Mason starting for the year. I don't. For the whole year, no. Maybe for a game or so, depending on the circumstances, sure. For the whole year, I don't see it happening.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be completely against it because, again, 2025, I'm not expecting much. But I just don't see the Steelers doing that.
They would only have to do it, again, if this ARod thing falls apart and if Russ doesn't come back.
So
That's the only option of Rudolph starting week 1.
So I think Rodgers and Russ are still likely options. They're still out there for a reason. It all lays in the hands of Aaron Rodgers making a decision. It is Thursday night. It is almost Friday morning.
We're almost a week into this free agency frenzy.
It is mid-March. Make a decision, my guy. What are you doing? Why is he taking forever?
He loves those sunsets.
Oh, my God. Shut up. He loves those sunsets.
Yeah, he loves those sunsets. That's why he's taking his
He'll
damn
love
time.
him in Pittsburgh, too. He'll love the incline, believe me. Oh, my God. You get a whole view of the city. Do a jog on the I forget what street it is up there. It's right above the incline. There's a street. There's some fancy houses. I forget the name of it. I forget the name of the street. You can take a jog stroll down the street. He can enjoy as many sunsets as he wants.
Just make up your mind, ARod.
If you give Russ same money Fields got, you go and split the fans. That would piss me off. That would piss me off. If you give Russ $30 million while not doing that to Fields, I'm gonna have a major conniption.
I hope not.
No, I don't want Rod. No, it's not his political views, bro.
Dude, I don't care
It's not
about
his
that.
political.
I don't care about that.
I am not. No. If you are outing a football player for their political views, bro, you got some serious issues.
I could care less about how he views whatever. I just don't like his drama. I don't like his ego. I don't like his age. I don't like the fact that he's just not the old ARod anymore.
It won't be Packers, Jets, and Steelers. What do you mean, Alex?
What?
We mean Jets and Steelers.
Well, he says he's not going to Steelers.
I hope you're right. I hope you're right. What happened to all that winking him and Tomlin was doing at each other a few years ago? I hate that moment of approval or acknowledgement or like, hey, you got it.
Yeah, they nodded. Like, yeah, I got
Bro,
you.
that was 6 years ago. I think. Bro,
Four.
That it wasn't that long ago.
2021.
Was it?
Yeah.
That was
Ben's
like
last
forever
year.
ago.
Yeah.
Why did I feel like that was before COVID?
It wasn't.
Oh, I thought that was before
It was
COVID.
2021, Ben's last year.
It felt so much longer ago.
No.
Either way, that tiny little moment is causing all this.
Yeah, people are still talking about it.
I'm not happy about it.
Um,
I'm not. I mean, it's what we're dealt with. It's what we got to do. It's what we gotta deal with as a Steelers fan, man. These are the options that we're dealt. It's kind of what we just have to accept at this point. We don't like it. A lot of us don't like it, but it's what we gotta accept. We wasted a year with Russ and Fields. We should have signed Mason last year and rolled with him. I wanted Mason last year. I don't know how the season would have went if he was the guy, but that's what I wanted. Even if he was just going to be the backup. Because ultimately, like say he was signed just to be the backup, right? Just to be the backup when we still signed Russ. Well, hold on. At the time, we still had Kenny.
yeah, we still had Kenny.
So maybe we never would have had Russ. So let's say, because at the time we still had Kenny, let's say we resigned Mason last year. Russ and Fields never happens.
No, but Mason would have been the starter because
He would have beaten out Kenny.
He would have beaten out Kenny, and Kenny never got his job back.
No. And Lord knows how that season would have gone. I can't say if it would have been better because we don't know.
I mean, at that time before, none of us could have anticipated the Steelers signing Russ and trading for Fields.
Doing anything of what they did.
No.
Would you guys rather to just draft a quarterback round one, let him have full control to start week one? No. I'm not starting a quarterback week one that was drafted, especially in the first round this year. Even if we have a quarterback next year in 2026, have him compete. Let him earn the job.
Yeah, you don't just gift him the job.
No.
You don't gift him the job. You don't say, okay, this is your job. No, you have him earn it.
Because I think that there's a good thing when it comes to quarterback sitting, especially if they're rookies. You want to kind of ease them into the NFL game.
Yeah.
Fuck, Mahomes sat for a whole year. Ben sat for 3 weeks. He only had to play because of injuries. You know? Like, quarterback sitting is very ideal. I don't know why we don't normalize it anymore.
Yeah, ARod sat 3 years. Jordan Love sat 3 years.
Going from Russ to Rodgers in the span of 2 years is insane thinking about it. It is. You know, if you also think about it from a name value aspect, oh my God, the Steelers got DK, they got Darius Slay, they got Aaron Rodgers. Yeah, maybe 5-6 years ago that would have been great. And we're here just like, oh, cool, whatever. Wow, old people, that's great.
Yeah, a little bit.
We win nothing with Mason Rudolph. Come on, we have seen this guy. We're not going to win anything with Rodgers either.
It's going to be the same result.
We're not going to win anything with any quarterback this year,
regardless, it's going to be the same result. Maybe different records, but it's the same result. In the end.
Honestly, a worse record's not a bad thing.
It's not.
Not for the Steelers this year.
It's not.
No.
That would be the biggest wake-up call for the Steelers. It's what they need.
I think it's very necessary.
It's what they need. It's what they need to understand.
So much for Tomlin wanting quarterback mobility. Yeah, I don't know what happened to that. Maybe they draft a quarterback with mobility. Maybe they trade for somebody with mobility. But as of now, it doesn't look like that.
Trading for a backup quarterback with mobility is more ideal than drafting one with mobility, because the only one that sticks out to me is Jalen Milroe.
Yeah, and I don't want Milroe.
I don't want that.
Hard pass on Milroe.
No, thank you.
Hard pass on Milroe. Tank the season, draft a good quarterback next year. That's kind of what I want them to do. I think it's necessary. If Mason ultimately has to be the starter for one reason or another, or maybe the Rodgers deal where Russ falls out and they have no choice, they won't admit it, but it sounds like a tank, doesn't it? Because I don't know what a whole year of Mason starting is going to lead us to. I don't know what record that will lead us to.
I don't know.
Because at the end of the day, Mason Rudolph is a backup quarterback at best. This is the situation we're dealt with, folks. Unbelievable.
If you're not down with that,
Bryant
Bryant
Craig.
We got another one.
Yeah, we do have another one.
If you're not down with that, we've got 2 words for you.
Bryant Craig, we'll start with you. Mike Thomas should stay in Pittsburgh, but leave the Steelers and coach the Pittsburgh Pirates. They could use a winning season.
Yo, Mike Tomlin and Bob Nutting.
Oh my God, that fan base would go nuts. The Yingers would go nuts. And Victory Asher with a 5. There is a time and place for everything. Last year, we didn't have a decent wide receiver corps. We do now. Mason is our guy. Give Mason a full 17-game season. If that has to be, if it ultimately comes down to that, I don't hate it.
Let's ride.
I don't hate it. I can live with that.
I would be intrigued if I had to be honest with you. I would be.
No, because at least if that's the case, you don't know what to expect.
No.
So you just go in with like, let's see what happens.
Yeah.
At least with Rodgers, I don't know.
I got no expectation with Rodgers.
With Rodgers, the Steelers have a certain expectation with him.
I just know it's not going to reach that.
With Mason, there's not as big of an expectation in regards to how the Steelers are looking at it.
It's just like, go out there and let's just see what can happen, what we can do.
Yeah.
That brings me more intrigued than ARod just leading us to essentially what Russ led us
I'm
to.
almost viewing 2025 as like 2019 after Ben went down. Low expectations and just hoping for the best and have some fun with it. Enjoy whatever good comes out of it.
Yeah.
But I think all that's really going to be told whenever we finally get a decision on ARod, because he's been dead silent for 3 days.
And because of that, I mean, it's what led the Steelers to bringing back Rudolph, of course. And I'm glad Rudolph's back.
Yeah.
I'm glad Rudolph is back as our backup.
Gio, what's going on, bro? He says in the chat, we need to make a reset. I agree, man. I agree.
Real talk.
Yeah, I don't know why Cordero's still on the team, bro. We signed Gainwell. What do we need Cordero for?
Because Arthur Smith needs a buddy.
Because he needs a buddy.
Yeah. He's got the most experience with him. That's the only excuse I could. I'm not defending it. That's just my guess.
If he needs a buddy, he can.
Well, Russ ain't his buddy.
Bring back Michael Pruitt. I don't care.
No, because we signed Donald Perham.
Okay, well, he's got Scotty Miller to be his buddy.
All right, then. All right, perfect. Scotty Miller, he's familiar with him. That's his buddy. Now get Patterson out of here because he's not needed.
Nah.
Trying to get younger, not older.
Yeah, I don't know why. Is the recruiter...
I don't want to see any more tosses to Patterson, I swear to God.
Steelers don't know what tanking is. No, they're never tanking. They're never going to tank.
What's that?
No, we're not going to. They don't even know the meaning of that word.
Nope.
Patrick Jones says, who comes out next year? LOL, tank for who? Who got Tyler Shuck, Texas quarterback, Alabama quarterback, Will Howard. Who comes out next year? I'll wait. Well, there's the Nico kid from Tennessee. I don't anticipate Archie Manning to declare.
We'll just throw his name into that category.
There's the kid from Clemson. Again, I'm not big on him, but Drew Alar is going to be declaring. We'll see what he does in Penn State. Again, not big on him. Not whatsoever. What about Garrett from LSU?
Mm-hmm.
As of now, I'm thinking Nico and Garrett are my two favorites right now. Only because I don't think Archie's going to declare. I think that's for 2027 or for 2028.
No, I think it'd be wise for Archie to stay around after his first full season starting at Texas.
Mm-hmm.
Nico's good. So, yeah.
With the new weapons, I could see Mason getting us 10 wins again. He's got a pretty good record as a starter. I mean, if he has to start, that's not my expectation. Again, it's just, we'll see what happens. That's how I'm viewing the season. Look at it any way you want. That's just how, where we are at the quarterback position, no matter if it's Mason, no matter if it's an aging quarterback, how can we expect anything crazy?
Again, yeah.
Unless you stack the receivers so much with a signing Cup and a strong running game. And then it all comes back to coaching. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It always circles back to coaching. Always. That never changes.
No. There's a poll in the chat still. The majority of you guys agree D-line first round, but Pickett 21, D-line, running back, corner, or quarterback. Corner getting the lowest amount of votes because, they signed two guys, so why would they need a cornerback? You know what I mean? Let me see.
If you're not
Got another one.
Gio.
we've got 2 words for you.
Gio with a 5. We got OKC this thing. Trade your stars for draft assets, build from there.
I couldn't agree more, brother. You and I think alike. Unfortunately, the Steelers, man, they don't want to do a complete reset. They don't.
No, that's how they should. That's what they should do.
I'd scrap all the coaching. I would completely rebuild this team from the ground up. Get as many new picks as you can. Get as much assets as you can. And see where we can go. I think it's necessary because we've seen the same season for too many years now, and I'm expecting the exact same if we get that far.
Again, that should be their mindset. That should be something that they should acknowledge. They just won't.
Well, especially with this free agency period. I mean,
that was our expectation. A little bit, especially with the cap that they had. It was like, okay, you got a little bit of spending money. You can go out and get this free agent and that free agent, or at least look toward their direction and whatnot.
right.
Not exactly that.
Does anyone on the Steelers ever listen to your podcast because what you two say makes more sense than what they're doing? I mean, no, I don't think.
I don't know. Well, Broderick Jones told us to get a life.
Broderick saw a clip that we posted on Instagram because he fucking threw away that big-ass catch from Pickens versus the Broncos last year.
Yeah, when he had the 3 penalties.
On that one drive.
That was when they were doing rotation between Furtado and Jones before Furtado got hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you made a clip about the penalties, and the whole point of the clip was to justify why Broderick should not be at right tackle no more.
But that must have went over Broderick's head.
Yeah, he took that as, oh, they're shitting on me.
I mean, far from it. That was not the point.
Well, the penalties are inexcusable.
They
so
are
I guess,
inexcusable, but that was not the point. The fact that this man should have been left tackle day one.
Yeah. Well, now he's going to be.
He's going to be now.
Because Dan Moore got overpaid by Tennessee.
Yeah.
But we appreciate the 3rd-round pick next year, Dan. 4 years of suffering, and we get a 3rd-round pick for you.
Hopefully it pans out for the future.
Wow. That's such a great consolation prize.
Yeah, Broderick told us to get a life. I just laughed. I thought it was funny.
Cut Broderick? Well, then who's your tackle?
You're not doing that, dude.
I think a lot of what the chat and us are saying, I don't think the Steelers are going to do any of it.
At this point, I don't know.
Like you guys are saying trade Pickens. I don't think they're going to do it. They're going to say trade for this guy. They're not going to do it.
Oh, trade Sayamalu and sign Tevin Jenkins. I don't think they're going to do it.
No. The Steelers are just, you know what I mean? They're just stable with where they're at.
They're stable. They're doing their due diligence. They're resigning a couple guys. They're finalizing and making moves official and whatnot. They could still be making moves, as we continue on in free agency.
Right.
I don't know.
Knight Rider says Rudolph played, was it 8 games you said? 8 games with Titans, had 9 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. A real Pickett-esque stat line. Pickett never had more than 9. Pickett had no more than 6 touchdowns a year. And he never threw interceptions because he was too afraid to throw the fucking ball.
Mason's not afraid to throw it.
No, that's the thing. He's not afraid to throw it.
He's not afraid to throw it. He'll do what he needs to do. He's got a hell of an arm. He's got this I have nothing to lose mindset.
There's a reason he's a backup. Even
with a backup.
Gio, I see where you're at. Hampton. In the first round?
So he's talking about Hampton, huh?
Well, I raise you have Hampton and I raise you a Kenneth Grant. Keep in mind, I would love Hampton as the first round pick, but I think D-line's more important.
Yeah, just right now my stance is running back or D-line first round. And whatever's taken in the first, I think that would be the pick round 3 if they don't trade back.
Missed out on key corner and defensive line signings due to pussyfooting around the quarterback position. Exactly. Oh, because we want to get comp picks for next year. Fuck that.
Hopefully it works out for the future. That's a year
You
down
want
the
to get
line.
comp picks.
That's a year down the
You want to
line.
get comp picks. Man, we're going to have to replace corner next year. You better hope you strike on a defensive lineman. You could have signed Fields for
So they
$30
want
million.
to pile up comp picks for next year and sign these guys to fill in positions for this upcoming season and try to get ARod because they're so close.
In their mindset.
In
but
their
they're
mindset.
Not.
Yeah, basically.
It is win now or it is draft next year. They're back and forth. I don't know. This team's just taking it by the year. That's what they're just taking it by the year.
You're not down
Yes.
with that. We've got 2 words for you.
Ryan with a 5. What do the Twin Towers and Mike Tomlin coaching team? Oh my God.
Ryan.
I'm gonna finish that. What do the Twin Towers and Mike Tomlin coach teams in December have in common? Y'all know the answer. Listen, I'm a dark sense of humor myself.
Ryan,
so,
I'll see you in hell.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I am heavy on dark humor, bro.
Jeez.
You will not find anyone more open to dark humor.
Jeez, man.
That's crazy.
Woo!
That's crazy.
Wow.
That's crazy. That's crazy. But I got a sense of humor. I got a great sense of humor.
That's a clever one, Brian. That's a clever one.
Can you imagine Cam and Campbell training up Grant and another young D tackle? I could.
I mean,
Well, don't forget Benton either.
If that's the case, you can't ask for better mentors than those two right there.
Noel coached 23 years, never went more than 4 seasons without a playoff win. Kyler, 15 years, never went more than 3 years without a playoff win. Tomlin hasn't had a playoff win in 8 straight years. This is the longest playoff win drought we've had in history. I love how 80s fans, right? People said, oh, well, the quarterback situation was so bad in the 80s. And I'm not saying it wasn't. I obviously wasn't alive. And I'm sure it was so bad for you guys. I'm sorry you went through that. But holy fuck, at least you guys didn't go 8 years without a playoff win.
The last bit of coins here.
Even with the quarterbacks that they went with post Bradshaw, they still weren't so bad that they got embarrassed and blown out in the playoffs 6 straight times.
No, because they refused to ever be down that bad. They refused to ever be that terrible.
Dan, Mr. Rooney, would never allow it. Would never allow it.
Nope. As a matter of fact, since Dan Rooney unfortunately passed away, the Steelers have not won a playoff game.
Nope, they have not. Attaboy, Art the Clown.
Art Rooney II does not have a playoff win as owner.
No, he doesn't. No, he does not.
Give it a big old thumbs up, Art the Clown.
I'd rather him drop it. I know everyone's saying sell the team. They're not going to sell the team. I'd much rather him drop it down to Dan's son. That's what I would much rather them do. I'd much rather they drop it down to Dan Rooney Jr. Or Art Rooney Jr., the vice president. Why not? One of them. Preferably Dan, though.
Somebody that's going to force change. Somebody that's going to give a damn. Someone that's going to want better. Rather than just like, oh, we had another good winning season and whatnot, and we trust Mike Tomlin.
I would much rather Art Rooney II drop the team down to his grandkid, Dan Rooney II. That's what I would much rather them do. Or is that his son? That might be his son. My fault. That might be his son. I don't know. Regardless, he's the vice president of player personnel. Give it to him. I don't know if you guys saw the interview or the video of how much it meant for the Steelers to be hosting the first NFL game in Ireland. He had so much more passion in his voice than I've heard Art Rooney II have in 10 years. Anytime I see Art Rooney II talking with whoever, he's just sitting like this, Yeah, I think we got to be better in the playoffs and we got to score more points. But, we want to sign a fucking 41-year-old quarterback. What are we doing? We don't want to make any fucking coaching changes.
I think
I'm frustrated as much as anyone, but I think Mike Tomlin can still win us a Super Bowl.
I'm as frustrated as anyone.
What are we doing?
It was a disappointing end. I'm as frustrated as anyone, but I'm not going to do a thing about it.
Literally. I forget who it was. Someone asked Art Rooney II at the end of the season. You see all the fan outrage regarding the team getting blown out in the playoffs and the complete team collapse. And he said, well, yeah, I'm just upset as anyone. But you don't make a single change.
Yeah. If you're that upset, then why aren't you doing anything about it? You're the owner. You have as much say as anybody.
Oh, God, man.
Gio with another 5. You guys ready for this 9-8 season? Woo! Another above 500 season. We live in mediocrity.
Bro, 9-8 is at best. I'm low-key hoping we get a losing season.
How does 8-9 sound?
As close.
That would be the most Mike Tomlin. If you were to get a losing season, that would just be it by one game.
I don't know. We need to trade Casey for Simmons. They're both free agents. We can sign Simmons if we wanted to. We better not draft a tackle or receiver, goddammit. We're not. Mr. Nguyen, we're not. Don't worry. I hope not. I like Sampson in the third. Dylan Sampson. I could see it.
Good back.
Then we would hear only one losing season. Yeah, only one losing season out of 19 years isn't so bad. We didn't have a quarterback, so we're going to go draft a quarterback. And one losing season in 19 years isn't so bad. So that goes to show you that we trust Mike Tomlin. He can win us so many games. And, a player or a coach having that many winning seasons is pretty impressive.
Yeah.
That's my best. That's my best Art Rooney II.
I like how Art Rooney said, the priority is going to be quarterback. We got to figure out who quarterback is. You're still figuring out who quarterback is.
Yeah.
This was back in January.
Sampson is too small. The two guys we have now are sub 5'10" already. I don't think that's a negative thing. My only issue with Sampson is his fumbles. Otherwise, I think he has a lot of really good traits.
No, and sometimes the smaller backs tend to succeed much more than the bigger backs.
Right.
Just a little bit. I mean, I know there's a lot of smaller backs. Warren's a smaller back. Isn't Kyron Williams a smaller back? Ain't he?
Kyron
Williams.
Kyron, yeah.
Yeah, he's a smaller back, and he's one of the best in the league and whatnot. I mean, Gentry's only 5'9", but he's the best back coming into the draft.
Right.
So it's like the smaller backs, I mean, they can use that to their advantage. So his size, I mean, in his figure, it's not really a concern of me. But the fumbles, yes. They got to get cleaned up.
If Grant isn't there at 21, trade back, get extra picks, and draft Dart. Got to keep trying. That's the only way I would accept Dart in the first. I want no part of Ron's bullshit. I feel you, Gio. You done messed up, Ron. You know? Please tell me you get that reference.
Yes, I
Okay.
get that. Yeah, of course.
Okay, good. Get a Taj Brooks. I love Taj Brooks. Tough runner. Late round sleeper. He's just got a lot of grit to him, man. What coaching changes have they made? None.
Nada.
Bro,
Zero.
everyone's staying. Which is why I don't care about quarterback this year, because it's going to lead to the same results. So even if we play so shitty, you know what I mean? It's whatever.
They brought in 2 new coaches, and that's it. Oh, hell yeah, there's going to be changes. The changes.
The changes.
All right. All right.
So it's just, yeah, we joke about it, but deep down, bro, it hurts. You know, it hurts. I mean, we're not as bad as the Giants or the Titans or the Browns. And God, I don't want to breach that those levels are bad.
No.
So I don't want to be overly dramatic, but
Still got to find the fun and the humor in it.
yeah.
Just a little bit.
Yeah. So, but with 48% of you guys think defensive line goes first round.
And I believe that would be the case.
I want Hampton, but he'll be gone by late first, early second. Yeah. I mean, he could be there at 21. I'm not rolling him out whatsoever.
I don't know.
Seeing Najee leave low-key hurt. He was my draft crush back in 2021. 4 years flew by. Yeah, it did. It really flew by, and it did hurt a little bit myself. I'm going to miss Najee. He's replaceable easily. It's best for him and the Steelers, but I'm going to miss him. I'm going to miss the dude that he was on the field.
No, in Chargers, man, like, they got a good one.
They sure did.
They got a good back. You know, Harbaugh's finally got the back they tried to recruit. You know, when Najee was going to go to Michigan, but he opted to go to Alabama, so Harbaugh's finally got his guy.
Right.
And it's a good fit for Najee. Just fits his style, fits his system. It's a great pairing, makes all the sense in the world, and he's close to home again.
Doing a mock right now, traded KC 21 for 31 and 68. Darius Alexander was the only name there at D-line. I really like Darius Alexander. I ain't gonna lie. I see a lot of to it in him.
Mm-hmm.
But he's 25.
I know. He's older, but he's good.
I know he's good.
He's really good. And I mentioned it earlier, when it comes to certain age groups with rookies in the draft, defensive line is one of those that doesn't really concern me. Because defensive linemen can play for 10 some odd years and then some.
Yeah, but how far is his prime going to be?
I mean, I understand that concern. I get it.
One contract?
I don't know if it'd just be one.
Maybe two?
Maybe two. Again, defensive linemen can play a real long time. So D-line for me, it's not a concern.
Well, longevity is for like certain, like Campbell or Hayward.
Yeah.
You know?
But then there's the possibility that Alexander may not play a full 10 years. You know what I'm saying?
What are you saying, actually?
Well, because of how long he's been playing the position and been playing football, he's only 25. He could play a limited amount of years in the NFL and then seemingly retire.
So would you take that in the first round?
Probably not.
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, there's a concern about that.
That's what I'm saying.
That's why I throw it out there.
Well, I just think he'd be a one-contract guy.
I mean, that's your opinion. Am I just thinking differently?
Well, I'm saying that's a risk. I'm not saying that's what's going to happen. I'm just saying that's a risk.
Oh, it is a risk. Yeah.
I mean, he could have like a Hayward or a Hayward type of longevity where he goes on and dominates for 10 years. It's just, you know, that's a big concern with his age. But he's a dog.
He's a player.
He's a dog. I don't know if he'd be the true nose. He's more of a 3-tech. I don't know if he'd be the true nose. I think we need a nose. Benton can move over opposite Hayward. We just need a nose. That's why I like Grant or Nolan. Even Harmon, he can play the nose a little bit. If we trade back, maybe we get Alfred Collins in the second.
Him or a Tyleik Williams.
Tyleik Williams, yeah, from Ohio State.
State.
Yeah, he's a good one.
Yeah, that's another good one.
Yeah, well, maybe we save defensive line for the third round. A J.J. Pegas from Ole Miss. C.J. West. I know he's smaller, but he's good.
Could do that, yeah.
Got plenty of options.
Yeah. Yeah, West is one of those risers, in my opinion.
Agreed.
He's definitely rising up draft boards.
Dart was there at 68. I would accept it. If he's there, sure. Why does Javon Hargrave hate us so much? I don't think he hates us. He's just going elsewhere. He's just going elsewhere, bro. That's all.
I mean, he gets to play for a DC like Brian Flores.
Yeah, he did go to the Vikings. Oh,
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah, he and Jonathan Allen both went to Minnesota. So Minnesota's really bulking up that defense.
Yeah.
I mean, they resigned Byron Murphy too, so it's like, sheesh.
I remember watching the draft with you guys, drafting Najee and Rob, saying, if we draft Kyle trash, I'm going to lose it or something. Time goes flying.
I did say that, yeah, because there was speculation that Steelers had interest in Trask.
Yeah, I'm so glad that the Bucs took him.
Yeah.
Not a fan. Personally, not a fan.
Nope.
Roderick said you guys get a life, but yet he can't even block a damn phone number. He can't block a social media account. No, he can't, bro. That's funny. He can't.
That's a clever one, yeah.
I don't know. We'll see what he does at left.
I still wish nothing but the best for Broderick. I hope he can succeed and be that true left tackle. That's all I want from him.
It's going
him to stand
It's
out.
going to take. I don't know how much time you're going to give him. A year? 6 months? Or not 6 months. More like 6, 8, 10 weeks.
Might take a bit, yeah.
It's going to take a bit because he's two years away. Two years away from his position, man. It's just, what are we doing, bro? What are we doing? Steelers don't know how to use their talent, bro.
No, they don't know how to use their offensive linemen.
I hope they don't know how to use talent in general.
No.
DK, I hope you enjoy your welcome. Welcome to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Rock that number 4. I'm probably going to buy you a jersey. So, when that time comes, that time comes. But overall, guys, Mason's back. I wouldn't expect him being the starter. If it ever comes down to it, I'm riding with him. Otherwise, ARod, make up your damn mind. We're all just sitting here waiting.
Still waiting.
Waiting for a decision. Waiting for anyone to be named the starter at this point. Or anyone to be the starter at this point. This is what it's like to live without a quarterback, guys. This is what it's like to be in quarterback purgatory. It kind of sucks. And now it's just being long and drawn out, and it's quite embarrassing by the Steelers that they're just being played around with by a 41-year-old man-child.
Standing on the beach, listening to music with a blanket wrapped around him.
Gotta love it.
Yep.
Gotta love it. Any details on the Juszczyk visit? Not details at all. It's just
I didn't hear anything.
he didn't sign a deal yet. Typically, when they leave without a deal, it's not a good sign. But he could always sign, so I hope he does. I think we could really use him at fullback, even if it's for a year or so. I think he's still got 2 good years in him. So, 2-year deal to be the fullback. We want to run the ball. We're going to draft running back. So, I think it makes all the sense in the world to grab a guy like him. Best fullback the NFL has seen in a long time. You know, another weapon for the offense. How can you say no to that? How can you say no to an upgrade at fullback? You know what I mean?
Especially a guy like Kyle Juszczyk.
That's what I'm saying. This is the AARon show. He knows what he is doing. Bro, everything circulates around him. He wants all the attention.
Hence why he's doing what he's doing.
I don't know where he gets this sense of entitlement.
Because he's Aaron Rodgers. I don't know. Literally, I don't know.
By the way, I believe if we do sign AARon, it's not going to be up until after June 1st because he'll be a post-June 1st cut because the Jets want to cut their dead cap hit between this year and next year.
Just a matter of agreement.
Well, there's an agreement. It's just a matter of him wanting to do what he wants to do.
So yes or no?
Fuck it. We're riding with Mason. Let's go, Mason. Welcome back.
I'll deck his jersey every single game day, bro.
We have to. You made a promise.
Yeah, we made a promise.
No, you said it. But by
You
association,
agreed with me, so we.
By association, yes.
We.
Yes.
You think I'm playing you? You think I'm messing with you?
No.
You won't see a Watt jersey. You won't see a Minka jersey. You won't see a Troy jersey. You're going to see a Mason Rudolph jersey every game
For
day.
17 games next year.
Hell yeah!
Promises made. Promises kept.
Because as of right now, until ARod make up his damn mind, Mason Rudolph is my quarterback.
Mason Rudolph is QB1 up until something happens.
And I'll take it. I'm glad he's back. I'm happy he's back.
You know what? Maybe his deep ball with an Arthur Smith scheme with DK and Pickens could get exciting. How long it lasts, I don't know.
I'd like to see
How
it.
long my sanity lasts watching the Steelers next year? 2 weeks, if I'm lucky.
Man.
2 quarters.
Maybe it depends on how the NFL schedules are scheduled again.
I don't know, man. I'm just excited to see where they're gonna play or when they're gonna play in Ireland, who they're gonna play.
Yep.
That's gonna be fun too. So good for that. That's gonna be interesting. I think the schedule typically comes out in May not next month.
2 months.
I think we're in April. I wish. So 2 months from now.
Yeah.
Hopefully we get some answers on that. But first of all, thank you guys for watching as always. We appreciate you guys on another late night live stream. Mason Rudolph is back. That's cool. They signed a couple depth pieces. That's kind of all they've been doing all free agency, really. So it just continues on, and what, in my opinion, has been a pretty underwhelming and disappointing free agency. But Mason was really the only signing that actually got me hyped. Because we finally signed a quarterback.
Yeah.
After 4 days, we finally signed a quarterback. Yippee. Will he be the quarterback? Probably not. But we signed a quarterback. We got somebody on the roster that I can low-key trust at the position. And there's not many quarterbacks in this league that are available right now that I can say I trust. Mason's a good one. So, I don't know, man. But with that being said, we're getting on out of here. You guys enjoy the rest of your night. We'll see what the Steelers do. We'll see if ARod finally wants to make up his mind. We'll probably be waiting until next month at this point. He'll be announcing it come draft night, most likely. I have no idea anymore. The Steelers, man, they should still be trying to make extra signings for depth. Maybe they can make a move for an Asante Samuel. Maybe they can make a move for a Becton or a Jenkins at left guard. That's probably wishful thinking at this point, but I feel like they have the cap space to do it. They should continue to add bodies. Why not do so?
Mm-hmm.
The Steelers, man, they should still be making moves in the coming days. I would sure hope so. I wouldn't expect anything crazy. I wouldn't expect anything drastic. But more moves hopefully will be coming because I think there's still other needs they could address. They got the cap space to do it. We'll see what happens. But pretty much the first wave of free agency, not much has happened, man. Not much has happened. Can't say it makes me excited as a Steelers fan.
No, but there's still time. There's still names out there. They still have plenty of cap space. We'll see if they continue to add upon any free agents, add upon any names at said positions that they still have to address.
Right.
We'll see what happens. We'll see what Omar Khan may still have up his sleeve. We'll just see what the Steelers can do.
I don't know, man. But with that being said, we're going to go on out of here. Enjoy the rest of our night. Happy Friday, by the way. So I guess we'll see.
It is Friday, yeah.
It is Friday. It is Friday. We're at the end of the work week, and then we got the weekend. So I don't know when the next time we'll be live. Maybe tomorrow night, depending on what happens. Maybe Saturday, maybe Sunday to discuss the entire first week all over again. I don't know. We'll keep you guys updated on the socials. Otherwise, see you in the next one. And until anything is announced, have a great weekend. See you in the next one. Here we go, Steelers.
And ARod, make up your damn mind. And as always, like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you later.
Peace!